Hi, hello there, gamers! Welcome back to the Rainbow Void. We're playing another gay game for Pride Month. Big surprise there, I know. I always planned on doing the Victoria route because shits and giggles. But you know what? It's the perfect time for Pride Month to do this route. So we're doing Toxic Yuri for Pride Month. We did the Chloe route. So if you haven't seen the Chloe route, that's where most of, like, the story is probably going to be, because I'll probably skip over a lot of the stuff that I've already done, but there should be a lot of new stuff since the other route was mostly focused on Chloe. But we'll see how Victoria's route goes. I'm intrigued, I will say. Alright, let us begin. Do you want to play the tutorial? No. I'll like do the beginning. What it exactly is a Victoria route. So this is the dating sim version of Life is Strange. So it's just the different romance route. I'll do the beginning parts, but then we'll go into if there's anything that's left out. I don't think there should be too much to skip. Because Chloe and Victoria didn't really have that much overlap. That's the word I was looking for. Ugh. Insert groan here. Didn't I get up last time? I'm pretty sure I got up last time anyway. I guess I'd better get up. The air is a little chilly as I push the covers off and only glance in my mirror. And one glance in my mirror is enough to tell me that I look like a total zombie. In other words, it's a typical morning for me. Someone's playing music. The people I share a dormitory with are worse than roosters. Oh well, at least I'm up. And I shouldn't make it a habit to be late to class anyway. I stretch out, yawning, as I make my way to the window to feel the sunlight on my skin. Lisa seems to be enjoying it too. Lisa is the plant, if you don't remember, from Life is Strange 1. She's grown like crazy over the past year. My mom would be so proud. Wow, a whole year already. It's hard to believe I've been at Blackwell for that long. I'm so glad that I came back to Arcadia Bay and not just for Blackwell Academy, although I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a huge part. I like Seattle, but it never really felt like home. Arcadia Bay is the place I grew up in, the place where I made all of my best memories and had so many adventures, each one as different as every new day. Pirates and superheroes, this was the best place to grow up. Well, I'm biased, but I really do feel that way. I don't want to sell Seattle short, of course. I lived there for 5 long years. I really do miss my friends there and my parents. I was so glad to see them this summer. But I know that coming back here was the right choice for me. I'm technically an adult now, which is something I'm still getting used to. I definitely still feel like a kid in a lot of ways. Party modes! I'm lucky to have my parents' support and my scholarship, which I've somehow managed to keep in my second year. Go Max. No, not biting the tongue while eating the burger. Boo! One of my sleeves, it says crash out on it. There we go. It's crash out incoming. Basically, this is a alternate universe Life is Strange where it's just a dating sim with no rewind powers. It's just your max and you have your romance route. Life is normal. And I can't forget one of the most important parts. Blackwell's brought me back to Chloe Price, my best friend. It took a little while, but we picked up right where we left off. We won't be romancing Chloe here. Life is gay, exactly. Actually, we did even better, because we didn't exactly part under the best circumstances. But the greatest thing about Chloe is that she's brutally honest with her feelings. Those first few weeks were seriously awkward, but we got through it. Yeah, Ben, your favorite game is Life is Strange. Yeah, I guess technically you can rewind in a meta sense. I'm determined to be there for her now, even if I couldn't before. We'll see about that. Luckily, someone was there for Chloe while I was gone. Rachel Amber. She's totally gorgeous, and she's a really great person, too. She's almost too perfect. But she's one of those girls that's just impossible to hate, even though Victoria Chase seems to have found a way. At first, I thought that Rachel and Chloe were total opposites, but they're really more like wolves of the same pack. Let's just say knowing the both of them is like being accessory to every incident of dubious criminal mischief in the Bay. Reunion is good. I like Reunion. I keep getting like recommended a video called like The Legacy of Life is Strange is like sold short because of reunion. Something like that. It keeps getting recommended to me of like, the legacy of Life is Strange is ruined because of reunion. It's like, okay, buddy. Let's just say I'm not watching that video. But even if I didn't have Chloe and Rachel, I've got other friends too. Dana, Stella, Alyssa. Actually, I can count almost everyone on my floor as a friend. Even Brooke, who is, abrasive. It took some getting used to, but it's just her way of being friendly. Pretty impressive for a shy geek like me, am I right? Hello, Rhea! We're doing the Toxic Yuri route. The route you have been waiting for, because I know your favorite thing in the world is Toxic Yuri. Take Kate Marsh, for example. She's one of the very first people who befriended me at Blackwell. What? Are you saying Toxic Yuri is not your favorite thing? That's slander! What do you mean slander? I don't know, because I think I downloaded it off of itch.io. I don't have a Steam Deck, so I don't know how Steam Decks work, but it's like a 10-year-old, like, itch.io game. Kate is probably the most kind-hearted person I've ever met, and she's an incredibly talented artist. She's one of the only students at Blackwell that unabashedly wears her heart, or I guess her religion, on her sleeve. I know that she gets flack about it sometimes, but I think it's really cool that she works so hard to create a comfortable environment for other religious and or abstinent students, even if I'm not in her Bible study group or anything. I get along with almost everybody, except for my neighbor across the hall. Victoria Chase is the head of the Vortex Club, with all the reputation that goes with it. Even after a year, I'm not entirely sure what the Vortex Club even does, aside from underage drinking. I've heard that being in it is good for your resume, but I never see them doing anything to actually improve or benefit the school outside of partying. Oh well, it's not really my place to judge, even though Victoria herself does a lot of judging. Hasn't she heard the old adage about not saying anything at all if you've got nothing nice to say? It's hard not to wither under the Ice Queen stare of hers, or feel totally lame in her presence of her $6,000 camera. She has a great eye, though, I'll give her that. I can't spend all morning daydreaming by the window, though. I've got to get dressed. I don't want to miss my first class. Especially because... oh god, I forgot about Mixed Dog. Especially because Mixed Dog told us last week that they had a surprise coming up on Monday. I wonder what it'll be. If you don't know what Mixed Dog is in this game, you're in for a treat. They're one of the best teachers I've ever had. They're always supportive of my work and always smiling. I knew Blackwell Academy took on the best of the best. Egg! But I had to experience it to believe it. Mixed Dog is so freaking cool. I better hurry up and get going. Then maybe I can find some time to hang out with my friends before class starts. I have a feeling that Chloe and Rachel are going to laugh at my generic brand t-shirt and jeans like they always do, but I've come to terms with my style. What were we thinking? I don't know. I thought, like, it was just gonna be a teacher. Like, just a generic-looking teacher. And not... I won't spoil what Mixed Dog is. Chapter 5. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's supposed to be... Not that I've taken any drugs, but I feel like that's kind of, like, how it's supposed to feel. Like, oh, well, my powers are fucking with me, and everything's going wrong. I should make sure I have everything I need before I head out. We can skip this part, because it's just checking. Yep. Oh, fuck. I didn't see... who was where. Shit. Well, let's save here. Bathroom is Chloe and Rachel. I'm not actively watching, so this is basically an audiobook. Great choice of picking my streams to have as an audiobook as someone that doesn't know how to read. I mean, if you've seen my numerous videos on double exposure, I'm not the biggest fan of it. That makes it funnier. What is the courtyard? Okay, it's Kate. Okay, let's go back then. I guess going straight to class is the... Wait. Okay, so where... Is Victoria still in the... Hold on. I did not read where all of them were because it just skipped. If I go here... Oops. Can you go back with a mouse wheel? Oh, wait. Oh, you can! Oh, shit, you're right. I did not think of that. Holy shit, you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. Okay, so it says I guess she went to class early. So, she should be in class then. I like Kate, but like, as a romance option, I'm just not... I mean, to be fair, my only like true ship from Life is Strange that I ship is Max and Chloe, but I do like Victoria as a character a lot, and I think it's a funny dynamic of shipping Victoria and Max. So I guess go straight to class. But it's saying Victoria... I won't be able to... What the fuck? I guess let me go to the courtyard just to see... Oh, she's... Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. Okay, go to the courtyard. Alright. I was like, where is Victoria? Okay. This is the right way. I head outside of the dorms and see Kate sitting on a bench out on the front, lawn sketchbook in hand. Up ahead, I see Victoria focused on a bulletin board. I guess I do have time to chat. Talk to Victoria. Victoria looks so focused on the message board. She's got her arms crossed like she's annoyed by what she's reading, but I'm not sure what it is she's looking at. I scan my eyes over the board. There are flyers for club meetings, another plea about the cat pics tablet, some stuff about global warming. How is my water bottle? Oh, I didn't even mention my water bottle injury from last night. So, you see how big my water bottle is. This is like metal. It's heavy. I was drinking my water and then like it slipped and fell right on my foot. Oh man, it hurts so bad. Word of advice from Bad Games Jules. Do not drop your heavy water bottle on your foot. I don't know if you're ever thinking of doing that, but personal testimony, I wouldn't recommend it. It hurts. And that's your advice from Bad Games Jules for the day. I think, okay, it depends on the toxic Yuri dynamic. I'm not always the biggest fan of it, but if it's like a rival dynamic, which I feel like Max and Victoria have more than like, it's genuinely toxic. Like Catradora is considered toxic Yuri, and I love Catradora, but that's more of like a rival toxic kind of dynamic that I can sink my teeth into. If it's them just genuinely just hating each other, but there's sexual tension, I mean, if it's Yuri, maybe I'll check it out, but I like more of a rival dynamic. Or like, because like my rival dynamics that I think of mind are like Dayako or Luz and Amity at first. Like, I like rival dynamics. Or Ruby and Weiss from Ruby. I like those dynamics. But if it's genuinely toxic and they're just like at each other's throats, it has to be like Catradora route where that's the way it's going instead of just like, oh, it's all sexual tension and there's no romance to it at all. I like romance in my Yuri. I'm not just all sexual tension Yuri. But I'm fine, Chad. Don't worry. I don't think my foot is broken, or else I would not be walking. See, with Kate, I don't know. I just like, yeah, she's nice, but she's just not my type. Like, she's nice. Like, that's pretty much all I have to say about her. Is just like, I like Chloe more because of her like rebel attitude, and then Victoria, I'm like, I kind of get it. I kind of get the mean lesbian thing going on. I kind of get it. I mean, yeah, who doesn't like to read smut? But like, I need some substance pre to the smut. You know what I mean? Why am I even divulging AO3? Uh, I need like romantic context before it. I saw that anime's coming up. Me and my friend Jason, I sent it to him because he loves fighting games. So I remember when it was like announced, like I think like a year or two ago, and I was like, oh, let's keep our eyes on this. And then I finally saw like a trailer on Twitter the other day, and I was like, we should watch this together for funsies because sometimes we watch anime together. We've both been getting into Witch Hat. I'm basically caught up and I'm watching it week to week. I love Witch Hat Atelier. Like, Agat, oh, my baby lesbian daughter. Oh, Agat, I love her so much. That is my daughter. I love her so much. Witch Hat Atelier is basically, you have Coco, who's this, like, cheery blonde who wants to be a witch so bad. But, like, magic is kind of, like, an unknown thing. Not unknown, but, like, the general population does not know how magic works. They know that witches exist, and they think witches are these most magical beings. Like, kind of like gods. And then one day, Coco, like, accidentally does something bad. I don't want to spoil too much. And she becomes a witch. And it's basically her journey of navigating... How did I even... What? Oh! And the game... Now the game's not responding. But basically her navigating through the witch world. Thank you, Little Zaw. And if you liked, what's it called? Little Witch Academia... If you kind of want a little bit more of a serious vibe, I would say, to, like, a witch Yuri kind of thing, then I would say Witch Hat is, like, a little bit more of, like, a serious thing. But there's still comedy in it. But I'd say it's, like, a deeper emotional thing going on, and, like, there's a deeper story going on. But if you liked Little Witch, I think you would like Witch Hat Atelier. There's, like, fun moments in it. But there's, like, a lot more, like, emotion to it. Of, like... For example, with my favorite character, Agat, she has, like, all these, like, standards put upon her because she comes from, like, a higher-up witch family, so she feels so much pressure on herself. Oh, Little Witch Academia, that is, So you have Akko, who... I love how we're just going down whatever. Akko does not come from, like, a witch family. She just decides she wants to become a witch, and then she goes to a witch school. But a lot of, like, the witches there grew up with being, like, in like, the magical world. And then you have Diana, who's from one of these, like, more prominent families, and they kind of get into, like, this rivalry of, like... Well, I have prestigious blood, meanwhile you're just, like, a regular person with no magic in your family. That's the only problem with Little Witch. I mean, I still ship Dayako, and I still think that that's the main ship, and I just don't even give a fuck about Andrew. I know, like, the Japanese voice actresses in Little Witch ship Dayako. But that's more of, like, the easygoing, fun witch anime, where it's just, like, Akko gets into shenanigans, and Diana's like, don't you know that you're not supposed to be doing this kind of stuff? That kind of stuff. I don't know, I like their dynamic, it's fun. I didn't even remember Andrew's name, yeah. Fun fact, Monk's idol group just did Little Witch Academia skit in the Masquerade, and she was Jasminka. But yeah, they're kind of similar in ways of, like, yes, there's, like, a witch element to it, and there's magic and stuff. And they have their fun moments, but I'd say Little Witch is more, like, lighthearted, meanwhile Witch Hat Atelier is more... What is the deeper thing going on here? I mean, but there's, like, cute Coco Agat moments. Yeah, I remember they had, like, the one episode, and I'm like, Diana is still, like, the main love interest for Akko. Let's not play around here. The average Blackwell Marquis. I don't usually go out of my way to talk to Victoria, but she might be the only person who takes photography class as seriously as I do. It might be good to scope out what she thinks about today's surprise. Hey, Victoria. Victoria turns around for a split second. I see surprise in her face before it's replaced with a stern look. What do you want, Max? The instant... Yes. Her tone isn't totally hostile today. I guess that's something at least. Just wanted to say good morning, if that's okay. Oh, Lord. If that's okay? Girl, stand up! Get up! What do you mean if that's okay? Victoria snorts and rolls her eyes. I wouldn't call it a good morning as long as you're around. Oh, I can see the seeds we're planting here. Wait, seriously? I throw my hands up in defense, giving a huff of exasperation. I can't catch a break with Victoria, can I? Like a wet cat. Girl, stand up. Oh, Rhea, you didn't see my shirt before, but like, look at, it's got crash out on the sleeve, and then there's a frowny face, and then on the back it just says crash out repeating. I love this shirt. It's such a mood. Wow, nice burn. Let me go to the nurse and get myself an ice pack. Well, actually, you shouldn't really be putting ice packs on burns, because, like, the temperature difference, like, the immediate temperature difference is not a good thing. You want to, like, you know, slightly put something cold on it. Victoria crosses her arms with an impatient sigh and then gestures with her fingers. Really? What do you want? I glance back to the bulletin board and see a small flyer in the corner. It's an advertisement for a photography exhibition in Portland. I think I found what Victoria was looking at. Just wondering what you think of Mixed Dogs got prepared for us today. You know, the surprise they mentioned last week? Victoria purses her lips and looks away for a second before turning back to me. I heard a rumor that it's another photo contest, like last year. She sounds kind of tense about it. I suddenly remember how she'd placed second in the photo contest last year. She hadn't looked happy about it at all. I know she'd busted her ass on it. Even I had to admit that her submission was really good. I totally thought she'd win. I have a feeling she took losing a lot harder than she'd let on. If it is, good luck, Victoria. That definitely wasn't the response Victoria was expecting. Her eyes widened, her mouth dropping open for a split second. I have not checked out the tags under this ship. Like, I think the only, fanfictions I've checked out from Life is Strange are Max Chloe. But to be fair, as y'all know, I am like the most mono shipper of mono shippers. Like, I don't tend to multi-ship anything. Soulmateism for life. Before she recovers. She's not scowling at me anymore, at least. Yeah, you too, Max. Oh, I wasn't expecting that either. Jesus Christ, girl, get a grip! She just said good luck, and you're like... She told me good luck. Guys, I think I'm in love. No one has ever told me good luck after they told me they hate me before. So this is like awakening something in me. Girl, get a grip. We're so down bad. And we don't even know why. And we stand there for another moment. Neither of us seem to know what to say. Awkward. Victoria makes an irritated sound, finally breaking the silence. Look, I've got to get back to figuring out my schedule for the week, club meetings and shit. I'm pretty sure that wasn't what she was doing, but I'm not about to call her out on it. Yeah, of course. I'll see you in class. That's not how Victoria sounds, but, you know, we roll with it. She turns back to the bulletin board. Well, that could have definitely gone a lot worse as far as encounters with Victoria Chase goes. That was practically painless. Okay, time to go to class. I think I can skip here, but I'll save just in case. Oh wait, no, we have to see Mixed Dog first. Hold on. Once I enter the classroom, I head to the back and sit down in my usual seat. Contrary to what Chloe would have you believe, I don't sit back there to slack off like she does. I sit back here because it's centered right by where Mixed Dog usually lectures. Speaking of Chloe, I can see her sauntering in with Rachel. She grabs a couple of chairs and drags them noisily across the tile so that she and Rachel can sit with me. Wait, can I... We'll see if what happens when I skip. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Alright. We'll just skip through this until Mixed Dog comes in. Okay, there we go. Good morning, class! What a lovely Monday morning. Love this. There's a few grumbles here and there. Chloe's the loudest. Mixed Dog ignores them all. As you all know, I told you last week I'd have a big surprise coming today. Well, the day has come for me to announce the second annual Blackwell photo contest. Okay, now we can skip to, like, picking our partner. Alright, we're picking Victoria! Are you sure you want to choose Victoria? Yes. Achievement double exposure! Wait a minute! This game had an achievement called double exposure like 10 years, or I guess like 8 years before the game double exposure came out? That's crazy. That's actually insane. What? This game called double exposure as a game. That's crazy. That's actually insane. I mean, I know it's a common photography term, but still. Are we sure we don't want to pivot to the Rachel route? Can we reconsider? I can do the Rachel route another time. We're doing the Victoria one. It's Toxic Yuri Day. I'm about to do the dumbest thing I've ever done. Is this you talking to me? Chat, is this you? Jules, you're about to do the dumbest thing you've ever done. FNAF reference, it's me! I'm currently in the code. Jules, you can go back. You can reconsider, please. I'm typing it as we speak. Jules, please, anyone else redo the Chloe route, please. Do Rachel, anyone. Oh my god. You know what? I'll give a Bird Yuri kiss. Because of how funny that was. There we go. Bird Yuri. Triple ad! What the hell? Twitch, what are we doing, bro? What? I didn't even run an... I literally did not press anything to run an ad. So Twitch is just on some bullshit. I didn't press any of my ad buttons. 99% of the time, I'm about to go on a little rant here. I do my long ad at the beginning of the stream. So, like, it's like an hour, and it should be an hour of ad-free. And we've only been streaming for 30 minutes. That's some bullshit. And then I only ever, like, run another ad manually if I go to the bathroom. Or, like, I have to get up. Because I know how annoying running an ad in the middle of the stream is. I would rather deal with a pre-roll than 17 billion ads in the middle of the stream. But Jules, you're not profit maxing. As I get up from my desk, I feel my body turn stiff and robotic, like it's trying to protect me from the humiliation I'm about to suffer by paralyzing me. But I force my way through it. Jesus Christ. Come on, Max, just walk over to her. Just walk right on over to Victoria Chase, who could ruin your reputation. Why is this game like, you don't want to do this. You do not want to do this. Can we take my money, please? Can we stop this route? I can tell you're literally in this code. Okay. Just walk on right on over to Victoria Chase, who could ruin your reputation with a single status on the social media of her choice. Oh my god. Victoria Chase, who is in fact incredibly talented and could help you produce something amazing. If only you could get her to treat you like a fellow human. I should seriously turn my ass right back around and sit down, but I keep walking. Victoria only seems to notice me once I'm standing right above her, never one to settle for being at anybody's feet. She immediately pushes her chair back, stands, and then kind of looms. I think I just shat a brick! Oh my god, bro, what is this route? I have not heard the phrase shat a brick in who knows how long. That's crazy. This game is so dated. Oh. What's up, sour grapes? Yeah, this is a hella bad idea. I try not to look like I've just made a huge mistake. Oh, so clever. I take it you'll be entering? Yeah. I'm stalling for time, thinking about changing my mind. Victoria's looking at me expectantly. She can really make people feel like they're nothing with just one look. That's what sparks the determination in me. I feel bold for a moment, and I grasp onto it before it slips away. Here goes nothing. I want to work with you. Victoria looks stunned. Her expression is so satisfying. Excusez-moi? I talk fast before my bravado disappears entirely. We both take photography way seriously. We both came to Blackwell to work on our photos and get better, right? We're both into the same artists in the same eras, and I know you're practically an expert. I know we don't really see eye to eye, and your style is almost completely opposite of mine. Max Lord. Imagine she says no in credits roll. Yeah, that's the whole route. But I think we've got the best chance of winning if we work together. Will logic win her over? I have no idea. I haven't even fully thought out this insane desire to work with her. Her eyes narrow to slits. She's probably going to laugh in my face. I bet she wants to be her versus me competition. I hold my breath. Finally, she speaks slowly. You're not as dumb as you look. Thanks, I think. And then she sits down. I stare at her. Was that, Victoria waves a hand at me, irritated. Come talk to me after class, okay? Get out of my face. I think that was a yes. We're interrupted by Mixed Dog trailing back to the front of the classroom and clearing their throat. Alright, I've got to get into today's lecture. If you haven't picked a partner yet, then be sure to do that before class lets out. I settle back into my seat as the lesson begins, but I can barely focus. All I can think about is the contest. When class lets out, it feels like hours later and I leap out of my seat. Just as Victoria asked me to, I walk over to her and approach her. She takes her time gathering her books and ignoring my existence. I wait. Finally, she straightens. Victoria Chase does not straighten. Not as dumb as I look. This feels really... Oh. Finally, she straightens and gives a sharp jerk of her head. I'm glad I'm not famous and y'all could just gift things of me. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that level of fame. But you make gifts of your favorite wrestlers all the time. Well, what are you waiting for? Oh. After giving Mixed Dog our names for the registration sheet, I rush to follow her out the door. We'll meet tomorrow morning at that tin bucket of a diner. I'll text to let you know the exact time. The two whales? Isn't that what I just said? No. Do you need my number? Victoria shoots me a withering look. Guess not. She already has it. Huh. That's all. Be prepared tomorrow and do not be late. With a dismissive flick of her wrist, Victoria separates me and takes long strides down the hall, her head held high. I watch her go. I can't believe that worked. What have I gotten myself into? Tuesday! It's Tuesday, innit? Usually I feel totally at ease in this environment. In the middle of the frantic breakfast rush at Two Whales, complete with an atmosphere so loud and varied, it makes it hard to nod off. The diner is lit with a manner of different faces. Hungry truckers tapping their feet and banging their large fists against the counter. Sleepy locals engaging in quiet conversation over steaming coffee mugs. Families dabbing at their faces. Families dabbing? This is where all of you unfollow. Families dabbing at the faces of their children. And the already overworked staff bumbling about with a speed and accuracy I sure wouldn't be able to accomplish without falling over. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Only 10 o'clock? Bro, that's late. I mean, I did wake up at like 10:30 this morning, but that's because I stayed up till like 3 a.m. last night. So we canceled Jules after the stream. Well, at least you're canceling me after the stream and not during the stream. So at least you have that common courtesy. It seems way too loud for it to be that time, but it's the beauty of the morning rush, I guess. Well, to be more accurate, it's only 9:58. Too much effort. I woke up this morning to a text from Victoria demanding to meet up at 10 a.m. or never. Checking my phone to make sure I have the time right, I drum my fingers against the table to burn off the excess energy from my nerves. If I were to be meeting with Chloe, I wouldn't be nervous at all. Is this a dig at like, maybe you should have partnered with Chloe, stupid. Maybe a little nervous that she'd leave me waiting for way too long. I can't help that little smirk that overcomes my lips at the thought, because I know for a fact that she definitely would. Oh, it's like you chose the wrong person, bro. She always tells me I'd better not be late, but she always is. It's fine, though. I guess I've learned to deal with the wonky schedule of one Chloe Price. That's what you get when you pledge your loyalty to the captain. There's no room for me to be that upset. Being first mate isn't all it's cut out to be. Ugh, what's up with that look on your face? I jump in my seat at the sudden voice, and the smile dissolves quickly off my face. Victoria Chase is standing over my table, arms crossed and expression sour. I must have been so deep in my thoughts that I didn't even notice her come in. So much for preparing myself to deal with this. Yeah, somehow change the code to pivot to the Chloe route. I look down at my phone to check the time. 10 a.m. I don't know why I'm surprised. Of course she'd be as punctual as possible. When I pull my gaze off my phone, I realize that she still made no effort to sit down. I can't help myself from thinking that she's probably trying to use that as some leverage over me. And if she doesn't have enough control over all of Blackwell... God, are you deaf or something? I asked you a question. That sparks some annoyance in the back of my mind, and I hurry to respond. We'll see. Thinking of something. As much as I want to reply with something worse, I hold myself back and frown up at her. I was just thinking about something. Victoria raises a brow and then scoffs. It had better be something about the project then. I can't keep myself from rolling my eyes, and she narrows her own eyes at me in response. Or maybe it's better if it's not. If I have to deal with you smiling like a total weirdo all the time, I might just go crazy. If she's that worried, her words definitely did the trick. There's nothing short of a frown on my face now. Very funny, Victoria. If it makes you feel better, it wasn't about the project. Victoria actually makes a noise of approval. Good. I don't need you getting ahead of yourself. I don't really like the way that she says that. Like she's planning on being the driving force behind this whole thing. I was the one who asked her for help in the first place. Whatever. Let's not waste any more time. Does that mean you're going to sit down? Victoria's eyebrow twitches at my assertion. I can't stop myself from smiling smugly. I half expect her to say something. Instead, all she does is huff and tuck a lock of her hair behind her ear, sliding effortlessly into the seat. I mean, she'd look stupid as fuck if she just stood there the whole time in front of the booth. I'm starting to reconsider whether my lack of amusement is a bit or not. Oh no. Bad Games Jules has the worst stream ever. Cancel her right now. It's too early to deal with you, Caulfield. Too early. It's already 10 in the morning. I raise a brow at her. Even Chloe would have called me out earlier than this. Victoria shoots me a look and averts her gaze to one of the many waitresses passing by, as if that'll make them show up any faster. Some people actually need their beauty rest. Oh, not the Twitter account. You're like, oh, just you wait, Juby. You'll be cancelled on Twitter. Oh, wait, I have to make the Twitter. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it. With how you look. Ouch. She's on a roll today. I cross my arms, watching her warily. Seriously? If you were going to come here just to insult me, why did you even agree to work with me? Victoria pauses, then pinches the bridge of her nose. Don't flatter yourself. Before Victoria can finish her response, a waitress finally shows up to take our orders. Victoria, of course, wastes no time. Coffee, black. She shoots me a look as if I'm the reason she's getting something so strong. I stand my ground, staring right back. For maybe a little too long, because Victoria clears her throat and gestures to the waitress. We don't have all fucking day, Caulfield. My ears burn, and I avert my gaze. Just a coffee with bacon and eggs. Once the waitress pens down our orders and speeds away, the atmosphere feels just as tense as before. Victoria is extremely quiet, and I can't find the words to say. It always feels like talking to Victoria is trying to avoid stepping on a landmine. It almost makes me regret my decision a little, but I quickly dash that thought from my mind. I know why I picked Victoria to help me. I've seen her work before, and for someone so sour, she has a lot of talent. I guess I just always wondered why someone so talented has to be such a jerk. She has everything, so what does she get from tearing everyone down? I peek at her again, and catch her looking out the window instead of me. There's this little furrow in her brow, as if she's thinking about something. It's probably something about me. Maybe she's questioning this decision just as much as I am. Hey, Victoria? Victoria turns her head to look at me, brow still furrowed. As she opens her mouth to respond, our waitress comes back and drops off our drinks. Whatever she was going to say is swallowed up by her taking a hold of her coffee and taking a sip. I almost want to wince, imagining how bitter that was. So, our project. Right. What do you have in mind? Since I'm dealing with Victoria, it's probably easier to ask her what she has in mind first. What do you have in mind? Do you have any idea? Uh-oh. We both stop short, our sentences totally mismatched. It takes me a moment to realize what she's trying to say, and really, I'm surprised. Was she actually asking for my opinion? I see her grip tighten on her mug, and she turns her head away from me and looks out the window. I blink hard because there's no way the light pink dusted over her cheeks is real, but... Oh, she's blushing, chat! Ooh! As soon as I do, it's gone, and she's glowering at me again. Were you seriously asking for my opinion? Don't tell me you were planning to peg all the work on me, Caulfield. Her eyes are narrowed, tone almost downright poisonous. I groan softly at the accusation. That's not what I meant. This is a collaboration, in case you forgot. Maybe if you got your head out of the clouds once in a while, you'd realize that. I furrow my brows a little irritated. Does she seriously think I was trying to push all the work on her? I tried to be considerate, and all I did was get yelled at. Well, I mean, we should probably figure out where we're going to shoot, right? Victoria hums in agreement at my words, seemingly placated for now. That's right. Since the focus is Arcadia Bay, it shouldn't be hard to find a suitable spot. Are you saying you know a good place to shoot? She pauses and taps her finger against the table. Of course, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give you a chance to prove yourself. I can't help but snort a little, and Victoria shuts her eyes at that, annoyed again. At least that's what it looks like, but then she continues easily. As I was saying, I'd like to hear your opinion on the matter. Victoria's gaze zeroes in on me, and I instantly feel more than a little awkward underneath her judgmental eyes. It makes me more nervous than it should be, and I swallow dryly and reach for my coffee. In all actuality, I don't really know if I'm good enough for this. The fact that Victoria is asking my opinion is more than a bit intimidating. I could think of a few, but I'm not really sure they're... Don't. I wouldn't ask your opinion if I didn't think you were somewhat competent. Victoria huffs and I rub the back of my neck. Is that supposed to be a compliment? I mean, girl, you are blushing too! I've got something in mind too, fortunately for you. Really? Victoria pursed her lips, resting her elbow on the table and looking over at me again. Yes, I do. Clean out those hipster ears of yours and you won't have to ask me dumb questions like that ever again. There's another pause, and then Victoria's looking at the window again, waving me off. Finish your food already, and then tell me what you want to do. It'd be a shame if I didn't give your amateur taste a chance. I'm so surprised that she's letting me take the reins that I almost do forget I have food in front of me, and I take the opportunity to nosh on it. God, we're really dating ourselves again. I don't think that ever really took off as a phrase either. I also take the opportunity to think about my decision. There's no way I'm going to argue about this. This isn't a chance that comes often. It might be a little bad, but I expected her to take complete charge. So, spit it out already. I think I know where we could go. You think? Victoria sips at her coffee impatiently, and I wipe my mouth with a napkin. I backtrack a little, frowning. No, I know. That's what I thought. Where are we going? You'll see. I've got a perfect place to take Victoria for this. Hopefully she doesn't find a way to chew me out anyways. I remember in the Chloe route, we let Chloe decide, and she took us to the damn junkyard. Getting into Victoria's expensive car after leaving the diner was stressful enough, and it didn't really help that as soon as I sat down, she'd snapped at me for the directions, wasting no time at all. That didn't stop her from turning on the radio. At first I thought it was some kind of attempt to drown me out, but she kept her trashy party music at a pretty decent level. Oh, you know that Victoria Chase was blasting TikTok by Kesha. You know that she was. That was her anthem, dude. She shows she cared enough to listen to me. It's your time to shine, Max. It's not every day you get to order Victoria around. Well, that's what I thought, but I just keep my voice as calm as I could in the face of Victoria's apparent displeasure and nonchalance. We make it in no time at all due to the lack of traffic. Not like there's usually any traffic. It's sad to say, but Arcadia Bay is kind of like a ghost town these days. Before it came back to Blackwell, it used to be lively, or at least from what I remember from the days William took us around town and Chloe and I started sword fights in front of 2 whales. The thought is a little depressing. Which is exactly why I chose this spot today. I thought if we were going to shoot anywhere, it'd be somewhere vibrant. Somewhere with a little more life, for Victoria's sake at least. I can handle nature, but I don't think I've ever seen Victoria willingly shoot at a tree or a squirrel. People are more her thing. Caulfield, Max! My train of thought is broken again by Victoria's demanding tone. It's edged with annoyance. It takes me a second to realize that she's already parked the car. Sorry, I zoned. As if it weren't inherently obvious. Jesus Christ, Max. I expect her to keep going on about it, so I frown and open my mouth to stop her, but before she's already getting up and throwing open the door. This is it, right? You didn't zone and give me the wrong directions, did you? I huff through my nose, scratching sheepishly at the back of my neck. No, Victoria, this is it. Victoria gives me a look and then gets out of her car. I unbuckle my seatbelt quickly, fumble with my camera bag for a moment, and follow her out. As soon as I'm out of the car, the scent in the air hits me really hard, a sharp contrast from the heavily perfumed scent from Victoria's car. My nose is filled with the salty tang of the ocean, and my ears are filled with the idle chatter of people, the patter of their footsteps against the wooden boardwalk floor. I quickly focus on Victoria instead of on the cloudy blue sky, and I see her with her arms crossed, watching the people mill about. There's something about her I can't quite place. It almost looks like she's not even breathing. I see her exhale softly, and I wonder if I was right. Are you serious? What? I blink at the comment, unsure of how I should take it. There's something pensive in her tone, and then she purses her lips. Oh god, are we failing this route really badly right now? Nothing. I just expect you to bring me somewhere else. You did? With your taste, I thought you'd bring me somewhere bland. Oh, okay, actually, maybe not fumbling. Maybe not fumbling. I can't help it. I have to turn my head away with amusement. I think I know what she's getting at. I mean, does this really matter? Park? Like, the park? I watch as Victoria stands silent for a second and then kind of crinkles her nose. Yes, Max, the park. There's not a lot of substance there, just trees and grass and squirrels, you know, animals. Not her going through animals and being like, you know, animals are a thing. Victoria huffs and raises her hand to fix her hair, as if she really does anything. Her hair is perfect anyways. Okay, yes. I'm aware of that. It doesn't seem like an interesting spot for a shoot. I think it's interesting. It's called nature, Victoria. I can't help myself grinning a little in her direction and watching her eyes widen. She grumbles and looks off to the side. Like I said, I'm aware. That doesn't make it any more interesting. Anyways, I hesitate a little and go walk around the car and join Victoria, since she doesn't seem like she's up to moving. Victoria's eyes are on me as I do so, and I gesture vaguely to the boardwalk. We should walk around, I guess. Scope out the area? Clearly. She says that as if the only one holding us up. She says that as if I were the one holding us up and not her. As promptly as ever, she starts walking ahead of me, and I follow after her before she leaves me behind. Victoria's always walked with purpose, whether or not she's actually got a reason to. I wouldn't be surprised if she does have a reason. Victoria looks like she's so busy all the time, and she even makes buying from the vending machine seem like an important event. This isn't helping me out at all, though, because Victoria's got a few inches of height over me, making it a little harder to keep up with her long strides. Does that mean you actually like it? I mean, I picked it for a reason. My breath comes out a little pant, and that seems to bring Victoria's attention over to my attempt to match her pace. She slows down a little, waiting for me. At least I think she is. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, just stepping beside her and walking with a much more ease. It's acceptable, surprisingly. Surprisingly? Victoria frowns at the little groan that rolls off my tongue, and I bite my tongue to stifle anything that comes out. It's a little frustrating, really. Victoria can act as standoffish as she likes, but I'd like a little credit. All right, chill. I meant to say it's nice, okay? Oh, the way Victoria says that is surprisingly hesitant, and I find myself staring at her in mild disbelief. She's coming around us, like she's slowly warming up to us. Her eyes lock onto mine, and just for a split second, I hold my breath at the gaze. The gaze? She breaks it, and I'm able to breathe again. Wow, that was new. Thanks. Don't mention it, seriously. The edge slips back into her voice as if I'm It's as if it never happened in the first place. I don't know whether or not I'm disappointed. Water break. You said you had a reason? Oh, yeah. I definitely know why I picked the boardwalk. Not only is it gorgeous or that the atmosphere is calming, but also feels like it brings life back into Arcadia Bay. Nothing feels stagnant here, not with families trying to hold back their kids from darting into all the shops they can find, or couples relaxing as they watch the bay. In addition to that, I thought Victoria would appreciate the variety of models here. There's so many figures, so much to point a camera at. I thought you'd like it. That's why I asked, I guess. All of a sudden, Victoria stops walking, and I have to stop before I walk ahead of her. I look at her, tilting my head a little. Victoria's giving me this dubious look, and then she crosses her arms. Oh man, what did I do to deserve her almighty wrath this time? You thought I'd like it? Why the hell would you care about that? I breathe in and hope I can explain to her in a way where she won't snap at me. You're better at portraits, right? Because you're better at portraits, right? Victoria drums her fingers against her arm, considering my words, and then almost cautiously she speaks. Yes, I am. You noticed? Yeah, I've seen your work, and all your photos are pretty Avedon-esque. You have an eye for framing people, so I thought you'd work a lot better somewhere where there's a bunch of subjects. Something in Victoria's expression softens, the hard set of her jaw relaxing. She makes a noise of approval, I think. Thanks, Max. I do try. But I didn't ask for you to cater to me. I could hold my own. I know that. I swear I wasn't doubting you. As soon as I said that, I see her throat bob like she's swallowing something bitter. You had better not been. Like I said, this is a collaboration, so... I shift on my feet, feeling awkward just standing in the middle of the boardwalk with no direction. Victoria catches the movement and then jerks her head toward a bench. I have no reason not to agree, and she knows that, so she heads over and sits down. You're super talented, Victoria, and I'm not just saying that to stroke your ego or something. Victoria snorts. Chill, Max. I am chill. I'm just... Save it. I'm not even interested in hearing some sappy hippie-ass explanation. This time, I'm the one who huffs. Some frustration burns at the back of my mind, mostly because one moment Victoria is tolerable and the next she's not. I fumble for a response to this. Victoria gets to it first. If you're going to bother telling me anything, then tell me what you're going to do if we win. The statement hits me hard, and maybe it's worse because of the way Victoria says it. It's so serious. My minor irritation gives way to this odd kind of nervousness that flutters in my stomach. The same feeling I always get when someone asks me what I'm going to do with my photos, or where I want to go in life specifically, how I'm going to get there. Victoria's staring right at me too, and I can't read the look in her eyes very well. All I can focus on otherwise is the way the light from the sunset frames her serious face. My mouth feels dry. I don't really know yet. I press my palms against my jeans to stave off the nerves eating at my stomach, and I wait for her response. She looks back out towards the sunset, leans forward on her elbows, so her elbows are against her knees. If we win, I'm using the shots in my portfolio, so I can submit them to the art gallery nearby. They'd be idiots if they didn't take my work, so I'm going to make sure they do. This will be amazing exposure. Oh. I say this almost breathlessly, and I hope she doesn't notice how amazed I am. Victoria is so dedicated. If there's one thing I'm envious of, it's that. But I guess it's not really envy. I think it's more of awe that keeps me looking at her. I wish I could be the same. Victoria seems so fearless. That's amazing. The words come out before I can stop them, and I rub my pants against my palms against my jeans, not my pants against my jeans. Victoria turns to me. Say this breathlessly. You don't come here for A+ level reading skills. Victoria turns to me, tension still clear in the crease between her elbows. It's almost like she doesn't know how to respond to my praise. Thanks. I'm glad someone thinks so, even if it's you. So if you go and waste it for me, don't think I won't make your life hell. She's trying to threaten me, but there's something else underneath that tone, I think. Oh, I'm picking up the romantic subtext. Don't you worry. I'm picking up what we're putting down. There's a lot about Victoria I still don't understand. I lean back on the bench and watch the sunset with her, unsure of how I'm supposed to feel. Are you? I want to find out more. Wednesday! When I chose to work with Victoria, I didn't think it would mean that I'd have to work around my sleeping schedule. What I mean by that is today at 8 a.m., I'd been woken up by someone's insistent knocking on the door. And when I'd finally managed to force myself up, I'd found a fully dressed Victoria Chase standing at my door. If I didn't feel dorky in my oversized Back to the Future t-shirt and hot dog shorts while I was in bed, I definitely did then, in the face of Victoria's designer cashmere sweater and glittering gold jewelry. Luckily for me, it seemed like the morning hours had dulled down Victoria's desire to taunt me. All she did was demand I get dressed and meet her in the parking lot. That's how I ended up back in Victoria's car too early in the morning, trying to will my empty stomach not to growl in her presence. At the same time, I was kind of nervous as to where we were heading. And then I was just confused when we ended up downtown. Are you hungry? Victoria, for the first time this whole morning, suddenly questions shifting the gear into park and turning the engine off with swift fingers. I find myself pausing for a moment, and she makes this face at me and clears her throat. Sorry, I'm still a little sleepy. Aren't we all? Does that mean you're hungry or not? We're gonna be honest, yes. I don't know about Victoria, but I'm kind of starving. When she came to get me, I didn't even have enough time to grab a bite to eat. I also don't think she's eaten either, but I'm not sure about that one. She might have gone to— oh my lord, why are we overthinking this? Just say yes or no! She might have gone to eat with her Vortex Club lackeys before coming to get me. Anyways, what's the worst she can say if I'm just being honest? Yeah, I'm pretty hungry. Good. I tilt my head in confusion at the statement, and Victoria glances at me and waves me off. Because I'm hungry too. Jesus, Max. Not the stomach sound. My stomach betrays me just then, growling way too loudly. I feel my face getting hot, all the way up to the tips of my ears. Victoria's still watching me, and then she actually has the audacity to smirk smugly at me. Tactful Max, it sounds like you have a fucking monster in there. I groan and slide down the seat, or at least I try to. The seatbelt kind of ruins the effect. Who knows when you would have woken up? I can't have you wasting time. Yeah, now we're finally getting to the gay. The longer you sit there, the longer we go without food. Victoria opens the door, stepping outside. It prompts me to do the same, and when I do, I'm kind of awestruck by our location. It might sound lame, but I don't come downtown often. There's something about this place that reminds me of a smaller version of Seattle. Definitely less polished and less cluttered. Still, it's a step up from the barren streets of Arcadia Bay, and it looks like Victoria's taken us to a nicer side of town. Wowzers. Victoria hums appreciatively. What are we doing here? Do I seriously have to explain everything to you? I shoot Victoria a look, frowning again. No, you don't, but it'd be nice to know. I was thinking about our shoot, and this should be obvious. Victoria, as she walks and talks, seems to be skimming over each of the shops. I do the same, following her gaze as it runs over the glass windows. Oh man, everything looks so ritzy. We should make an actual effort to prepare. I don't want to be aimlessly pointing my camera around like a goddamn idiot, hoping to get the perfect shot. So I'm going to start by making sure you're not pathetically underprepared for this. What's that supposed to mean? I quirk my brow at her. She gestures vaguely to my clothes with a swipe of her hand. That means I'm going to get you into something presentable for once. Oh god, not the makeover saga. That's crazy. You might like to parade around with the fashion sense of a 5-year-old, but I can't stand to see you. But I could stand to see you in better clothes for our shoot. Time for a glow down. You have zero faith in Victoria's fashion capabilities? Whoa, okay. I actually feel a little defensive over that. I like my jeans, and this is my favorite doe t-shirt. Hey, there's nothing wrong with my jeans and graphic tee. Not everyone can afford to drag out their Gucci shirt with their Vuitton jacket. I have zero faith in Victoria. Victoria makes this noise, followed by a short laugh. You did not just say that. Jesus, no wonder you're such a fashion wreck. I almost pouted her, and then it kind of clicks. Wait. I mean, aren't these the same sentence? I'm going to be your model? Almost immediately after I said the words, I knew they were a total stretch. I'm no model, and I know that. Victoria knows it too. I'm not good enough for something like that. What? Victoria's piercing gaze lands on me, and her brows are furrowed. No, Max. Why the hell would... For some reason, Victoria seems to catch herself before she finishes her sentence. You're just bound to show up in my shots. This isn't exactly going to be a modeling session if you even bother to remember the prompt. If it was, you probably would have gone running to fucking Rachel Amber. Is this you still saying I have time to go back? There's something particularly vicious in her tone. Before I can say anything, though, this is it. Victoria stops me in front of a particular shop. Only before I'm able to get a good look at it, she's already heading inside. So I don't stand outside looking like a total dork. I follow her inside with all the grace of a newborn fawn. Instantly, I'm a little surprised. I was expecting she'd bring me to some really glamorous shop and some place with all the glittering shirts and an oppressive atmosphere. Oh, hello, Madam Victoria. Kiss, kiss. Pleasure to see you. Actually, just take your huge wads of cash. I smile lamely at the dorky thought. Unfortunately, the place looks totally normal. I'm actually starting to think I can afford this stuff. Until I take one look at the price tag of a shirt and I honestly feel my heart stop. Whoa, I don't think... Oh god, don't give yourself a heart attack. Victoria comes over to me and just to swat my hand away from the nicely pressed shirt. I press my clammy hands against my jeans. Victoria, I seriously don't think I can, you know. And I'm telling you not to give yourself a heart attack. Chill out. Victoria sighs, ignoring my minor panic, returning to the display table again. Do you like beige or white? Imagine liking beige over white, bro. Beige, no one ever likes the color beige. Beige is like the most boring color of all fucking time. What? I'm not doing a very good job of holding myself together, and Victoria frowns at me. She has to come to me again, just grab my wrist, guiding me over to the rack she's been so heavily inspecting. These, Max, do you want to try them in beige or white? When I look again, she's holding a pair of white jeans and a pair of beige jeans? Bro, just get khakis at that point. Beige jeans. I hadn't even realized she'd let go of my hand. That's crazy, bro. Beige fucking jeans. Huh? I don't know. I don't really know a lot about fashion. You kind of said that yourself. Victoria smirks a little. I did, and I was right. Still, I thought you'd like to pick something for yourself. What do you think? I'm sure I can work with whatever awful option you choose. Thanks, Victoria. That's flattering. I feel real confident about my decision. Victoria hums softly, gestures to them again. I really have to pick something, huh? We're going white! Deja vu. I guess I'll just pick the white one. I don't even know that was a color jeans came in. Victoria turns to put the beige jeans back on the counter, and I hear her snort. Jeans come in a lot of different colors. White isn't even the start of it. It's a good color, though. You can really work with it. Seriously, I wouldn't think so. It'll at least work on you, and that's all we really need. Wow, thanks. Victoria pauses and huffs. It was a genuine compliment. Hold on to this. Before she even finishes her sentence, she's already shoving the jeans into my arms. If you're going with striped jeans, striped, I'm reading too ahead. If you're going with white jeans, you'd look good with a white shirt. Not plain though, striped. You'd look fucking awful if you wore plain white on white. Victoria's walking through the aisles like she's a queen and this is her palace. I wouldn't have thought about it before, except now. I see she's kind of amazing. She really knows her stuff, and she seems so passionate about this. It's actually nice to see her in her zone. To watch the way she struts around the store, sifting through clothing with this kind of silent ferocity, lips set into a determined grimace. Do you ever take off that stupid hoodie? A compliment? Victoria turns to me with a flick of her wrist, and I straighten up a little. No, not really. Of course not. I just needed to know so I could pick out a cardigan for you too. A cardigan? Yes, a cardigan to throw over the shirt. Your attire needs a splash of color, otherwise it won't catch anyone's eye. Crimson or violet? Oh, thank God she picked violet. Bro, purple is always the better color. Violet. I respond with a lot less hesitation this time around. Victoria finally focuses on me again. She opens her mouth to say something, then stops. A whole other second passes, and then she promptly turns. A violent, of course. It'd look better on you anyways. Crimson is too powerful, too commanding. Victoria mutters underneath her breath, starting to head over to the counter. Wait. You're paying? Obviously. Wonderful observation, Max. There's no way I can actually let her do that. Don't. Seriously, you'll give me a headache. If you want, you can just go wait outside. Victoria stares at her nails, tone firm, and I already know this is a battle I've lost. I'm kind of dizzy. She's paying for me. Yeah, Max Aurelus Caulfield. Even though I want to argue more, I decide it's probably better to take her up on her offer. So I hand the jeans to her and leave before we can cause a scene by arguing or something. Look, guys are arguing. That's a sign that they like each other. As soon as I'm out, though, I actually feel kind of worried. I feel like I should pay her back, even if it's with something small. Maybe I can get her something from across the street. I heard they have a pretty sweet shop there. I've only got so long before she comes out, so I duck into the shop and I'm totally stumped. What should I get for her? Ghost in the Shell! Brother, I don't think. I don't even know what I should get her, bro. Like, I feel like if I get her sunglasses, she's gonna be like, this is tacky. Ghost in the Shell? When the fuck? How much do you remember? Does Victoria secretly like Ghost in the Shell? Did I forget that part? Victoria doesn't seem like a weeb. I don't know what to get her. She's a closet weeb? I don't remember that at all. I really don't remember that. But you know what? If you're saying she's a closet weeb, I guess we'll pick it. I don't know a lot about anime, but I swear the one time I snuck into Victoria's room for Dana's sake, I saw some dorky figurine on her desk. Not Max calling anime dorky, bro! That's crazy. Tumblr hipster calls weebs dorky. Bro, I think that's the ultimate calling the kettle black, if I've ever seen one. Like, oh no. I hope she likes this one. I mean, kind of lesbian of her to pick out a Ghost in the Shell figurine, too. Like, I have not seen any of Ghost in the Shell, but I've seen what she looks like. She's kind of hot. I ran out of the store just in time to see Victoria exit. Jamming the gift into my bag, I crossed the street to meet up with her again. I almost thought you bailed on me. You're kind of my ride home, Victoria. I can't exactly run and leave. Victoria's irritated expression caves, and I breathe easily. My stomach also grumbles again, surprising us both. Instinctively, I blush again, and I find myself grinning sheepishly in her direction at the shocked little glance she's giving me. Not that I'm not having fun, but I'm totally ready to nosh on something. Where do you want to eat? Wait, you want me to pick? That is the worst question to ever ask anybody. Never ask me where I want to eat. Always say, this is where we're going. Never ask me what I want to eat, where I want to eat. Nothing. Never ask me nothing. Oops, I might have come across more shocked than I thought. Victoria's full of surprise today, so I can't help it. I wouldn't be asking if I didn't. She scowls at me lightly and crosses her arms, the bag shifting on them. Just pick already, won't you? There's something about the way she says that leaves me feeling warm, and I rub at my own arm nervously, leaning back on my heels. Well, I know this place down the block. They make some pretty cool crepes. Victoria presses her lips together and then nods slowly. Fine, whatever. Lead the way. For the first time this morning, I do. By the time Victoria pulls into the Blackwell parking lot, it's already nighttime. Bro, didn't we leave at like 8 a.m. and now we're back at like 9 p.m.? What were we doing that entire time? Which means we spent pretty much the whole day together. That's actually pretty weird. I mean, it's not every day you get to hang out with the queen and bee of Blackwell. With absolutely no problems or anything. I actually had a really nice time. Shopping with Victoria was still pretty grueling on my poor heart and my wallet, but aside from Victoria's gift, it's not like I bought anything pricey. Victoria made sure of that. Just thinking about it makes me feel a little off, but not in a bad way. Kind of in a really confused way, or really worried mostly for Victoria's health. She wouldn't normally shop for a beat-down hipster, would she? But the more time I spend with her, the more I see she's not as terrible as she fronts. As she parks the car, I peer over at her. She's tapping her nails against the steering wheel, seeming a little distracted. Or maybe not really distracted, just more like lost in her thoughts. Maybe she's thinking about the same lines as I am. For once, we might be on the same page. No, really, we might be. Because now that I'm listening to whatever's coming on the radio... Is that Sid Matters? You actually listen to them? What? Victoria straightens a little in her seat, glancing over at me. So she was distracted. Nothing, just surprised you listened to that. Aren't they a little hipster for you? I can't help but take the opportunity to tease her. Feels right, even if Victoria could probably tear into me at any given second. Victoria stares at me and then huffs. Watch yourself, Max. I'm just saying, I listen to it, and you know, I'm kind of a hipster. At least according to you and your other Vortex Club friends. You mean friends? Sure, Victoria. Victoria narrows her eyes. It's almost fun to rile Victoria up. She gets super defensive, fishing for the best insults. Well, usually. Lately, I feel like she's really been toning it down. First of all, you're not kind of a hipster. You are one. Don't compare me to a spectacle like you. Secondly, the door's open. You know, feel free to get out, because it's not like I'm keeping you trapped in here. That's true, but I can't really go out yet, not until I give her this present. I know. I have a really good reason for not leaving yet. Unless you're kicking me out. Victoria furrows her brow. Oh, God. If you made a counter of how many times I don't know how to read, I think that would be a 24-hour compilation on YouTube. Victoria furrows her brows and then turns to me, interested. I'm actually not. So is that an invitation to stay? I rub at the back of my neck. For some reason, the question makes me nervous. It's probably just because I still have to give her her gift. I don't even know if she's going to actually like it. Victoria stares at me and rolls her head to the side. I guess. But before I have to deal with whatever nonsense you're about to come up with, Max, let me at least get a little comfortable. We could just go back to your dorm room. We don't have to sit in the damn car. Why would you want to voluntarily just hang out in someone's car? I don't entirely understand what she means by that until she leans forward, pressing down on some button in her car. Oh. I breathe out in some half-surprised exhale as the roof of Victoria's car literally starts sliding back, exposing the night sky to us alongside the gleam of the parking lot lights. Okay, well, this is a little romantic, I suppose. I crane my neck back to watch the rest of the convertible ceiling roll back. I almost feel stupid that I didn't notice it before. She's rich, we get it! Of course Victoria would have something super fancy like this. It stops with a click and I blink a few times. Shaking my head, I look back to Victoria. I don't know when she got them out, but now she's holding a carton of cigarettes, hand halfway down to pick at one. Don't sound so surprised. Sorry, you just kind of caught me off guard. Max, why do you like smokers exclusively? Oh, you know, if like this was made today, Victoria would be such a vapor. She would have been obsessed with vaping. And like Bang Energy, oh my god. She would have been one of those type of influencers. Victoria gives me a small laugh and a half scoff. Most people are. As she does, all she does is light up her cigarette, taking a long drag off of it. Victoria reaches next to her and, oh, she's bringing the seat back, just so she can lay down. She looks so comfortable, it's almost surprising, and I'm left wondering if I should do the same or not. If you're going to stay, don't just sit there like a dork. Oh, I definitely think she would. I think at least the vaping, maybe not the Bang Energy, but the vaping, she would have totally been having those jewel pods. She gestures to my seat and I carefully follow suit, my hands fumbling to find the lever to push the seat back. Before I get comfortable though, she clears her throat. And just make sure no one is coming or something. What, you can't be seen with me? She smirks. Maybe. I roll my eyes, but I'm not exactly too offended. Leaning up on my elbows, I check for any familiar figures in the surrounding area. It's just us. I don't see anyone out there, not even one of the security guards, which is probably for the best. I don't exactly need David grilling me about this. Why are you so concerned? It's not like this is a date or anything. Oh, here we go. I say before I can stop myself, and instantly I feel my face heat up. Okay, I did not mean for that to slip out at all. Apparently Victoria didn't either, because she actually coughs for a second. I want to check if she's alright, but I'm too embarrassed to look her in her direction. No, you wish. There's this hoarse quality to her voice, and she clears her throat. Good, the last thing I want is you trying to seduce me. Oh boy. Here we go, chat. Here we go. I joke, trying to offset my mistake. Victoria grumbles in response. After, I'm confident that no one is milling around, I settle back down against the leather seat, flopping onto my back. The coast is totally clear. Victoria hums with approval. Since I've got nowhere to put my hands, I rest them both on my stomach, staring up blankly at the sky. So, are you going to let me in on whatever you're planning? I stiffen up slightly, biting my lip at the reminder of the gift in my bag. I wasn't expecting you to actually remember. Are you kidding me? My memory isn't that awful. I slide one of my hands over to my bag, shrugging weakly. Yeah, but my gift probably is. The thought is kind of depressing, but Victoria's watching me warily, eyes darting down to my bag. Okay, it's not a bomb, is it? Very funny, Victoria. Now, I brought actually a whole bomb to just take us out. That'd be fun, right? I mean, I mean, who doesn't bring a bomb on their first date? Victoria doesn't ease up at all, watching me intently. She even turns to face me, leaning on her elbow and everything. In spite of myself, I smile a little at the sight. So, spit it out already. I guess it's now or never, not that I really have a choice. Earlier, when we were shopping, and you bought me that outfit. Immediately, Victoria looked a little peeved. Are you going to bring this up again? I already told you. Can you actually let me finish? I cut her off before she can tell me to forget about it, and she narrows her eyes, taking a long drag with no further comment. I got you something. You did what? Victoria seems like she's at a loss for words, for just a second. Even after I specifically told you you didn't have to worry about paying me back. All I can do is shrug my shoulders, fingering. This is wording here. Fingering the strap on my bag anxiously. I just wanted to say thanks. I didn't really expect that. It was a really nice gesture, and it's not like I got you anything big, just a little something. Do you know how expensive anime figures are? Those shits are like $50 minimum. What a phrasing fingering is. Don't clip that out of context. Victoria averts her gaze, covering her mouth with her hand. Alright, fine. What is it? It's now or never, Max. You can do this. It's just Victoria. I set up a little to reach into my camera bag and pull out the dorky figurine I managed to find earlier, all neat and boxed up. I seriously have no clue where it's even from. But all I know is the girl in the box looks pretty tough, wearing a leather jacket and holding some sort of pistol, I think. Looks pretty futuristic. Either way, I hand it over and Victoria's gone impressively silent. Victoria? Where did you get that? There's this odd urgency in her tone, and she takes it from my hands so quickly I jump a little. The store? I saw it and I thought you kind of liked this stuff, so... Wait, excuse me? You thought I liked this kind of stuff? Yeah. Oh no, I have a feeling I'm not supposed to know about this. Did Taylor, like, open her huge mouth or something? Victoria questions, turning the box around her hands, and I tense up. I don't answer. Sorry, Taylor. I send a silent prayer to her. Before I come up with anything, Victoria just turns and crams the figurine into one of the plastic bags. Whatever. I guess I should thank you for the dorky thought anyways. Huh. Now that the weight of that whole situation is gone and Victoria hasn't kicked me out, I take the chance to press my head back against the leather seat of her car, closing my eyes and resting my hands back against my stomach. I don't hear Victoria move, but that's fine. All I can hear is her smoking next to me and the radio blaring softly with another Sid Matters song. This is definitely how their album's meant to be enjoyed. Score. It's oddly relaxing just sitting here in Victoria's car with the wind brushing over us. I know we're just at Blackwell, but here it kind of feels like we're in our own little world, just us and the music laying down underneath the night sky. Max? It's Victoria who breaks the silence. I don't usually mind too much, really. I turn my head to the side, opening my eyes to look at her. She's on her back now, one arm behind her head, her other hand over her mouth. A cigarette tucked between her fingers is just about out, and I wonder if she's going to light another one. Did you... Victoria starts to say something, and I see this crease between her brows as it tapers off into an unintelligible mutter. Huh? What was that? Victoria blows out a breath through her mouth. All smoke, it's distracting. Never mind. It was something entirely stupid. All that does is make me even more concerned. Victoria doesn't usually censor herself, at least not this openly. I bet it's not. It is. Come on, Victoria. I say stupid things all the time. I think I'm winning because Victoria's lips form an amused smile at the words. That's a good point. She shuts her eyes briefly, expression falling again. Fine. There's a beat of silence, and Victoria sits up briefly to throw her cigarette outside on the pavement. Did you have a good time? Oddly enough, that's the last thing I expected from her. There's that crease between her brows again that I could have easily mistaken for concern. Oh no, I think it really is concern this time. I almost forgot to respond, the idea making me still with surprise. Huh? That's it? The muscles in Victoria's jaw stiffen, and she shoots me an annoyed glare. What do you mean that's it? No, nothing bad. You were just kind of acting like it was something worse. This time, I'm positive it's not the moon playing tricks on me. There's this flush on her cheeks. It might be from anger, but I'm not totally positive. I'm not totally positive about a lot of things, especially regarding Victoria. Yeah, I did. Well, yeah, I did. I just wasn't really expecting any of that. That's it? There's this dip in Victoria's voice that surprises me, and I tilt my head a little at her. Huh? Victoria shakes her head and says nothing for a second. Forget it. I can't just forget it when it seems like she doesn't believe me. She has to know I'm telling the truth. I really did. I had a good time, Victoria. I'm not surprised. It's a shock, though. We didn't really used to get along, right? I have to stop myself for a second there. Didn't used to get along. Does that mean we're getting along now? And it was actually really fun to see you do your whole fashion thing. Victoria's watching me cautiously. Does she not believe me? After a second, I see some tension drain out of her bunched up muscles, shoulders falling back against the leather of her car. Thanks, Max. I try. No problem. It's worth it just to see how relaxed Victoria is. I couldn't have imagined she'd be so worried over something so small. Victoria finally sits up, bringing down her mirror and brushing at her hair. We should probably go back inside before Wells finds us and starts bitching. Or even worse, Madsen. I laugh a little at that, taking the initiative and pulling myself up too. David can be a pain in the ass, yeah. Victoria stops fixing herself in the tiny mirror. Do I want to know why you sound so familiar with him? Maybe not. It's a long story, or just a bunch of tiny ones. I can never resist getting into shenanigans with Chloe after all. Victoria just shakes her head. Weirdo. I don't want to hear about your weird escapades with our security guard, FNAF. Ugh, don't put it like that. Victoria flashes me another award-winning smirk and then picks up her purse. Come on, let's head back to my room. Wait, what? What? Don't give me that look. We still have a few things we have to talk about for tomorrow. Unless you'd rather not. Victoria looks away and I'm not sure how to respond. She wants me to come with her? No. At this point, I'm not exactly opposed to spending more time with her, so it doesn't take long to give her my answer. No, sure, I guess you're right. Victoria seems satisfied, nodding. Of course I am. The walk from the car to Victoria's room was kind of a blur, making me think I'm way more exhausted than I thought. It's not like I can exactly do anything about it now, not when I already agreed to come with Victoria. And maybe it's not so bad, especially when I got to sit down on Victoria's really, really soft couch. Even if this thing probably costs way more than my entire life. I've been in here once before, thanks to one of Juliet and Dana's little scuffles. I shouldn't be surprised that it feels totally different to actually have been invited in instead of having to sneak in here myself. But that was just one time, and it was for a good cause. Still. Good cause or not, that's still probably one of the things I should never let Victoria find out. Maybe sometime in the future if we're actually still friends after this. That'd be nice. Please don't tell me you're falling asleep on me, Max. It's been like 5 minutes. After dumping her stuff on the table, Victoria finally sits down next to me and prompting me to sit up a little. I'm not. Your sofa is just super comfortable. Well, obviously, I know that. I huff at her, sitting up even straighter for her benefit. Maybe you should sit up a little gayer for her benefit. Even rubbing my eyes and rolling my shoulders for extra effect. Better? Victoria hums, seemingly placated. I fight back an amused smile. If you want my attention so badly, you could just say so. So, the contest, what did you want to talk about first? The concept, the composition? I just throw out ideas, watching her carefully. In all actuality, I'm waiting to see if she has to say what she has to say. There's no way she'd invite me completely out of the blue. Not if she didn't have something in mind. No, well, not entirely. It's about the rules for the contest. It's bullshit, but we have missed something. That gets my attention. We missed something? Are you for real? She should have said, "Are you serial?" I don't want to sound like I'm doubting her, but that just sounds wrong, especially since I know Victoria's probably poured more of her attention into the rules than me. Victoria frowns openly at me, clicking her tongue. Yes. Okay, so what is it? I'm nervous, but it's better to get it over with as quick as possible, like ripping off a band-aid or something. Even if Victoria is probably a lot worse than a band-aid. It's about her submission. I don't know if you cared to notice, but there's a problem. Namely, who's going to be the one to actually submit their photo? Oh. Oh no. Yeah, Max. Oh. She sounds just as exasperated as I expected. It doesn't bother me, considering I can tell she's stressed out. That and I'm not trying not to let her know how anxious I am too. That's a problem because you're not leaving your camera and I'm not leaving mine, duh. I don't think I could stand to see you without that clunky ass Polaroid either. Victoria sighs long and hard and I bite my lip. I really couldn't see you without some designer camera either. I'd be dead before that happened. Trust me, I don't doubt it. As soon as Victoria smirks at my response, we're back to a stretch of silence that makes my stomach clench uneasily. So, what are you saying we should do? Victoria inhales, turning to face me, giving so much attention that it only really makes me feel more anxious. Chill out, Max. What's the worst you can say? We've gotten this far together without slaying each other. What else? We'll choose the best photograph of the both of ours at the end of our shoot. Unless you have a better idea. That almost makes it sound like a competition. Which is what I'm sure we're not supposed to do. I grasp at my forearm, furrowing my brows at Victoria. She stares at me blankly, huffing at me. No, it's not like we aren't going to be working together. Because obviously we are. I'll be there to give you pointers and keep you from going too retro trash on me. She pauses. And I guess you can give me tips or whatever. Oh. I watch Victoria's eyes shift to her nails, picking at them. Still, that doesn't discount the fact that it might be yours. As soon as I admit that, I internally grimace. Way to throw your insecurities out there, Max. I'm sure Victoria finds that real charming. All I can do is quietly curse myself out for being a total loser, while Victoria's giving me the blankest look for a second. Oh, hell no, Max. Don't you dare pull that shitty, insecure, shy hipster fucking garbage on me. Seriously, your lack of confidence in yourself is astounding sometimes. Hey. Immediately I try to defend myself, clutching at my bag strapped tightly. Victoria silences me with another wave of her hand. No, you listen to me. I don't know if this is some kind of stupid act or not. If you're trying to make if you're trying to make everyone pity you or cry for the poor, awkward geek. What I do know is you have to cut it the hell out. I mean, Chikona has a point. Gain some confidence, Max. Victoria narrows her eyes at me, and I forget to breathe as she's speaking. You're actually talented. God knows why you're out. Why do you fall? Why do you fall? Bruh. God knows why you out of literally anyone in this disappointing excuse for a school. Why do you think mixed dog gives you everything? It's time there's a crack to those words that make me stiffen. Victoria bites her lip, continuing on with just as much fire. Because you actually have style, while your photos do. But you never fucking do anything with it. You just sit and tuck in your stupid shoulders every day like you aren't even trying. It should be so easy for you. My tongue feels like it's stuck to the roof of my mouth, and I know I can't just not respond. It's just that there's something so inherently intense about Victoria. She looks so frustrated, so upset. The set of her jaw is tense, and she's scowling somewhere else, somewhere across the room. I've never been confident. Sorry, I haven't exactly been the most confident person. When I say that, I know I sound sarcastic, but it's true. I haven't. Ugh. No one starts off confident. No one. You don't just wake up with enormous ego. Is she about to give us a lesson on how to develop a massive fucking ego? She stops, closing her eyes and inhaling softly just to exhale a slow little huff. There's something about the sight that makes my heart ache. You're not special for not feeling confident in yourself. It's just annoying if you don't make an effort to amend that, because God, Max, you'll never get anywhere if you don't at least pretend you are. I'm not sure what you want me to do. It's my turn to sound exasperated. After Victoria's verbal scolding, I anxiously knock my feet against each other. Victoria pinches the bridge of her nose, shaking her head. Maybe I want you to stop moping around and make an effort for like once. I purse my lips, watching the irritated way Victoria drops her hand over to her knee, tapping her nails impatiently against her kneecap. Sorry, I didn't know I pissed you off that much. I know what Victoria's getting at, but that doesn't make it any easier to not be defensive. Victoria freezes, dragging her eyes back to me. She bites down on her tongue. No, you're missing the entire point, dense as always. It's not you, you know. Victoria deflates, almost resting her elbows against her knees. Seeing her slouch like that feels odd, vulnerable. You're actually one of the most talented people here. I don't really give a shit about anyone else, considering how mediocre they are. For an art school, the competition is laughable. There's hardly any, except... Victoria throws me a sideways glance that makes me hold my breath. But whatever, it's none of my business if you have to waste your fucking potential and it's everyone's time. As quickly as she threw all this on me, now she's reeling back. I should have expected it, actually. So I fumble to stop her. No, I get it. You put so much effort into everything you do, Victoria, so I can kind of get how douchey it is. But it's not like I'm intentionally trying to piss you off. I sigh, biting the inside of my cheek when I see her lip twitch. That's not the point. No, it kind of is. I do see what you mean. I'm not going to apologize for all that, because you might not know, but I have been working on it. That's why I'm here working with you. Victoria's eyes widen, and she narrows them again and stares ahead of her. That's fair. It is. That comes off firmer than I intended, and I hear Victoria exhale loudly. I wouldn't be here if I didn't make an effort. Victoria mumbles so softly I almost miss it. Contrary to popular belief, I don't just have everything handed to me. I'm just another young aspiring, she's dying, aspiring, stupidly hopeful photographer trying to get people to notice me. I know how hard it is, so... And you do. I blurt out without much tact, though it's not like I ever had much of it anyway. Victoria goes taut, stiffening up. You're such a good photographer. Everyone knows it. Her lips twitch a little, and I pretend not to notice. Of course she couldn't resist getting her ego stroked. It doesn't bother me at all. That's why I'm really nervous going against you and stuff. She doesn't exactly respond quickly, and that's fine. I pick at some non-existent fuzz on my jeans, waiting. Are you kissing my ass? We could be kissing something else. I mean, what? I mean, huh? I seriously can't help the laughter that comes out of my throat, and Victoria gives me a dry scoff in return. Maybe. Would you want to do it witty? Is it working? No. That's what she says, but the stubborn hint of a smile on her lips gives it away. That makes me feel all the lighter. It's so unreal seeing Victoria so vulnerable, and I wonder just how much she actually thinks about this stuff. But the way she puts it, it's no wonder she's always so mean. She's just trying to get on top. So she literally wants us to kiss her ass, and now she wants us to... My brain is fried. So first, she wants us to literally kiss her ass, and now she's trying to get on top? I mean, we are in your room, just together, alone. Who's stopping us? Which is no excuse, obviously, but it puts a lot into perspective. Even if she has no reason to be, I don't think she realizes that with all her talent, she doesn't actually have to tear anyone down. Unless she doesn't believe it herself. Max? I can't stop the surprised jerk on my shoulders when Victoria calls for me, and I realize I've been staring at her this whole time. Luckily for me, she's still staring at the coffee table, elbows still resting on her knees. Yeah? Victoria doesn't speak, and I'm convinced she has nothing to say until she leans back against the couch with a sigh. Just checking that you're, like, still with me? Where else would I be? Touché. Somewhere in that blank head of yours. I smile, raising my brows at her. Kind of. I'm just thinking about you. Way to be creepy, Max! Shit! I glance across the room and attempt to scout out something that'll maybe ease the tension a little and keep me from saying something lame instead. Oh shit, there's no way I can pass that up. Trying to figure out what anime that's from. I gesture to the boxed up figurine standing a little too proudly on Victoria's desk. You'd better not be screwing around with me, Caulfield. I'm not. I'm totally serial. There it is. Victoria bites her lip and rolls her eyes. Yeah, whatever. You seriously don't know. I smile sheepishly at her. Victoria raises a brow and then laughs quietly under her breath. Unbelievable. It's from Princess Mononoke, which, before you ask, is a movie, not an anime. I mean, there's animes that are... I'm not going to debate this. It takes a lot not to laugh at the way she says that. Sorry, I've never really heard of it. Chloe and I haven't watched anime since we were kids. With that obnoxiously blue hair, I'm surprised you both still don't. Victoria smirks, and I try not to grin too much. Can't wait to tell Chloe that one. Yeah, I know, but I guess I'm kind of into other stuff now. Victoria turns to me, our knees bumping into each other. Like... I scratch at the back of my neck, back of my head, humming and trying to will myself to think of something at least kind of interesting. Like sci-fi and stuff. Oh, that's kind of cool. The last big flick I think I saw was Final Fantasy. The Spirits of... Not the Final Fantasy reference again! It was good. Victoria lifts her hand to stop me, grimacing so openly I'm convinced I just actually heard her. Please tell me you're joking. That's literally the worst film I in the entire world has ever had to lay their eyes on. I'm torn between the fact that she watched it and the fact that she hated it, and I gawk for a second before frowning. No way, it wasn't that bad. You're good with a camera, but you have a shitty taste in cinematic works. Of course. Victoria stands up before I can respond, and I watch her cross over to the other side from her room to her laptop. What are you doing? What do you think? We're watching quality cinema. Victoria, without looking up, gestures to the figurine from before. Meanwhile, I almost choke. Right now? What, are you busy? I feel like I watched it when I was, like, in high school, because it was, like, free on the PlayStation Store at one point. So I was like, sure, I'll watch it because it's free. Do I remember anything about it? Absolutely not. Do I know anything about Final Fantasy? Barely. I'm 99% sure at some point it was free on the PlayStation Store and I watched it. But I don't remember anything about it. I bite my lip, thinking about the fact that I could possibly be sleeping instead. In fact, I should, but I guess not. We're watching on your laptop? Victoria sighs. Duh. Where else? I watch Victoria fiddle around with her laptop, pause, and then turn to me. I don't want to be super picky or anything, but I can't help that I've been totally eyeing that tasty plasma TV. Victoria notices this too this time. Oh my god. Her gaze goes from me to the TV, and I manage to sheepish grin, ducking my head down a little. It'd be a real shame if... Oh, hell no, Caulfield. You did not just come in here for my equipment. I know she's not serious because there's no venom to those words. I didn't, I swear. It's just... Isn't it just bigger shame that you aren't going to let me enjoy quality cinema on that? Victoria crosses her arms, eyes narrow to slits. Touche, Max. Fun fact, when I was in college, I had like a 65-inch TV. I had a massive TV that I brought to my college dorm. So everyone would always want to watch stuff in my room because I had a massive fucking TV. So I know this feeling. That was like the one really nice thing I had in my room, is I had a really nice and big TV. Because I had a room all to myself. So that's a yes. Victoria rolls her eyes, shutting her laptop and going through her drawers instead. Bring my blanket over to the couch. The command is pretty self-explanatory, but it still manages to surprise me. You're cold? No, I want to be comfortable. She pauses. If you don't want to be, then we won't share. There's no way I can pass this up. Eventually, we're settled on the couch, lights off, with Victoria draping the blanket over the both of us. At first, I keep my distance, and I see Victoria frown. She lifts the blanket in a way I almost mistaken as inviting. Jesus, this thing isn't huge. Come closer. I don't know. I'm not totally confident you won't bite. Oh my god. She snorts, shaking her head. Please, you wish. Kissing ass, talking about topping, now biting. My heart does a little flip in my chest, so instead of answering, I just scoot closer to her. She drapes the blanket over my shoulder when I'm close, and I bite my lip. I'm so close I can feel the warmth radiating from her skin. She's doing a better job at warming me up than the blanket is. I'm starting it, so could you actually pay attention for once? I am. I'm not that out of it. Kind of. Plus it'd be a waste of this tasty plasma. Please never say that again. She snorts, pressing play. And just a few minutes in, it's already way obvious I'm not paying attention. Not only do I have no clue what's going on, I'm way more focused on the weight of Victoria's leg against mine, and the way that she has her arm draped behind me, resting on the couch. It's comfortable. She's comfortable. Who would have thought? I can't find it in myself to find the thought weird at all in the darkness of the room. Just like in the car, it feels like it's just the two of us, except this time it really is. You're not falling asleep, are you? Victoria clears her throat, shifting next to me. I burrow my fingers into the blanket, trying to focus on the characters on the screen and the white subtitles on the bottom. Oh, she's cultured? We're watching sub? Okay, Victoria. I lose track again when I feel Victoria's arm shift behind my shoulders. No way. Not when I try to control the beating of my heart. Thursday! I'm stirred awake by the muffled vibration of my cell phone against my leg, which is weird, considering I usually leave it on my nightstand, not in my pocket. We fell asleep together, chat. I furrow my brows and it gives another ring, exhaling and curling closer to the warmth of my blanket. I'm super warm, like really warm. That's a little weird too, I guess. I'm so tired I can't bring myself to care a whole lot, not even when my phone vibrates again, and someone's wrapping their arm around my waist! Hold on, what? My eyes shoot open, heart lurching right into my throat when I'm greeted by the sight of a tuft of blonde hair and Victoria's sleeping face. Way too close to mine, actually. She's totally knocked out, lips parted and face free of tension. Holy shit, I fell asleep in Victoria's room? I can feel all the heat rushing to my face, and I hold my breath, like that'll do anything. If Victoria was going to wake up, she probably would have already, huh? Regardless, I can't stop myself from gulping hard. Now that I'm actually paying attention, I realize the position we're in. That's Victoria's arm around my waist. Oh god, oh my god! No wonder I'm so warm. It's hard not to be when your partner is tucked really, really securely against your side. I bit my lip, totally aware of the little puffs of breath that come from Victoria's lips brushing against my cheek. Awesome, I fell asleep on her yesterday. Smooth, Max. Taking about another second to gather myself, I finally glance around the room. Judging by the sunlight streaming through Victoria's window, it's probably the morning. I know I fell asleep last night, but why didn't Victoria just wake me up? Out of all people, I thought she'd be the one to boot me out of here first. Instead, I'm on her bed. On her bed? I could have sworn we were on the couch last night. Oh, jeez. I whisper without thought, pausing when Victoria sniffs and shifts next to me. The last thing I want to do is wake her up. I do turn my head to glance at her, though. My nose brushes against some of her hair. I get a strong whiff of something sweet. Wowzers! Way to ruin the moment, Max. She even went as far as to bring me to her bed, when she totally could have just left me on the couch. I don't know how she did it, but she did. I wonder what was going through her mind. Of course, she wouldn't just let me have the bed all to myself. I don't blame her. I couldn't see her sleeping on the couch either. I can't help but smile a bit, my tension easing up immensely. So Victoria does have a heart under all those mean remarks. Well, of course, especially after yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, I'm not surprised at Victoria's way of showing she cares by totally calling me out. I carefully reach my pocket for my phone, sticking my tongue out in concentration while I do. Victoria shifts a little and I freeze, but eventually I manage to whisk it out. Oh, just text from my mom and dad wishing me luck today. Thanks, parents. Unfortunately, I frowned when I read the time, 9 o'clock. Yeah, look at all these women. Gay ass. It sucks, but I should probably wake her up. The sunlight streaming through her windows is an indication that pretty soon it'll be the perfect time for a shoot. Victoria looks so comfortable, like she's got no worries at all. It's nice to see her without the scowl on her face, or that real arrogant smirk she throws around. Should I? Let's wait a little. I know it's terrible, but I don't think I'm ready to get out there and face the day yet. Or to wake up Blackwell's queen from her slumber. And I have to admit, this is a lot more comfortable than the idea of forcing myself to get up. Plus, Victoria's still knocked out. Maybe she'd be more angry if I woke her up. All these excuses. Chloe would laugh so hard if she heard you now, dork. Either way, I put my phone down next to me and closed my eyes, sighing softly. Victoria tightens her arm against my waist, and this time it's a lot less alarming. I let myself relax against her this time, succumbing to my prison! Girl! You have a girl wrapping her arm around you, and you're saying this is a prison. Taking away the gay card. For a few short minutes, because then I heard her groan and curse. The arm thrown around my waist goes tense, and I hear her inhale sharply. And then she completely detaches herself from me. Instead, she's nudging me. Max, get up. Hey, we have stuff to do. I groan for effect and rub my eyes, blinking at her. Victoria's scratching at her head, though she pauses and stares at me. Were you actually asleep? Yes. Victoria narrows her... Why do you do the things you do? What? Why? Why? Why do you not want to stay now? Bruh? Victoria narrows her eyes at me and then looks away. Shit, she doesn't seem happy. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to put Velcro on them, though. I need, like, an actual nest for them. I can Velcro the nest to the mic. Victoria's Little Zaw wants to leave because Victoria's still here. What time is that? It's around 9. In the morning? No fucking shit, Victoria. I raise my brows and Victoria takes notice, groaning and waving in my direction. Don't answer that. It's too early. It's not that early. Victoria grumbles at that, shooting me a stare that's probably supposed to look more vicious than it is. I never would have pegged Victoria. Kissing Victoria's ass. Topping. Pegging. I would have never pegged Victoria as someone who's not a morning person. With all those times I woke up to her blaring her hi-fi, you'd think the opposite. No, not really. Give me a second to actually wake up. Christ. Victoria... Do you want to sit here instead? Can this work? Oh, no. Come on. Okay. Victoria turns from me, swinging her legs over the edge of the bed. She rubs at her eyes, and I watch the way sunlight highlights her messy hair. The curve of her back in her tank top. It looks like the perfect shot. Thankfully, my camera is too far away for me to do anything. I don't think Victoria would be happy if I snuck a picture of her. I wonder if she knows how camera-worthy she really is. So, about last night. You fell asleep, Victoria says plainly, a hint of accusation snuck in there. I was way tired. You did keep me out the whole day yesterday. Is that a problem? No, you just didn't give me a heads up. She sighs dramatically. Ugh, it's not my fault you're weak, Caulfield. Whatever, it was your loss. Oh right, we didn't get to finish the movie. A real tragedy. Hilarious. Kudos to you. She snorts. Also, I'm wrong. You didn't get to finish. I did. I smile at that amused. Is that seriously something to be proud of? Are you going to tell me what I missed? Victoria huffs and I watch her run her hands through her bedhead and finally stand up. What? I can't just tell you that. There was too much going on. It won't have the same impact either. The same impact? Really? Victoria goes pink. I think. Not knocked in the YouTube chat. That can't be a trick of the lights. Yes, thanks for actually, listening. Anyways, I guess you'll have to come back later. That makes me straighten up, leaning on my elbows. For real? Victoria shrugs, walking away from me and towards her closet. Maybe, if we're actually competent during this photo shoot. Which translates to, if you actually got out of my bed. She might have let me sleep in, but I should have known better than to think she wouldn't kick me out. Don't worry, I'm going. I stretch, actually sitting up. She's not wrong. We have to actually get ready for the shoot today. The shoot. I run my fingers through my hair, idly, blinking at Victoria's back. What she said last night. Was she serious about all that? Victoria actually has faith in me? She trusts me not to screw this up? Oh my god, Max, please! I don't really know if I trust me to not screw up either, but the more I think about Victoria's roundabout way of trying to encourage me, the more confident I feel. As for Victoria with all that, you think she's totally prepared, but I can't help but feel like she's just as nervous as I am. You're making that face again. Victoria catches my eyes in her mirror and I straighten my shoulders, standing at attention. What face? According to you, there's a ton of them. Smart ass. Victoria turns to me, a hand on her hip. Now that she's facing me, I can see a little furrow in her brow. That dweeby one you get whenever you're ridiculously deep in thought. Wow, thanks, Victoria hums. Seriously, what is it? I mean, aren't these kind of the same question? I feel like I'm gonna get a snarky response regardless of what I pick here. Let's go with, are you nervous? I was just wondering if you were nervous at all. I don't really expect Victoria to respond, actually, and that's kind of a personal question. Victoria Chase, nervous? I don't think I've ever seen her nervous a day in my life. Not out of class, and definitely not in class. Victoria watches me and breathes in softly. A little. I have big plans after this if we win. Victoria brushes her hair back, skimming her fingers over her arm after, like she's unsure of what to do with it. Are you nervous? I look at her and nod a little. It's hard not to be. I know you have plans, so I've been thinking that this could be serious. Yeah, serious. Ugh, there's hardly anything to worry about, Max. Victoria shifts, turning around to stare in the mirror again. Our photos are going to come out fine, especially with moi helping you out. I laugh at the ridiculously dramatic flair to that. Right, I can always trust you. Of course! Who else would help you wiggle out of that hippie style? I push myself off her bed just to look up at her smirking in the mirror. It's not hippie, mostly. It's just normal life, mundane stuff every day. Life. Did you know that life is strange? Ooh. That'd be crazy, right? Victoria repeats and then scoffs. What a hippie thing to say. Whatever. I say in amusement, reaching for my camera bag on the couch, proof I'd been there last night. I scoop up my new clothes, too. We'll just have to see about our stuff. That we will, Max. Now you need to actually look good, so go already. Yeah, I'm going. Au revoir. I shut the door after watching her wave me away distractedly. Au revoir. I repeat faintly, heading back across to my room. My footsteps feel so much lighter. We make it to the boardwalk in almost no time at all, thanks to Victoria's nice car and the lack of traffic this early in the morning. Not that traffic is ever much of an issue in Arcadia Bay anyways, but that's not exactly the point. Despite the near stillness of the streets, there's still quite a few people here, making the boardwalk look just as lively for our shoot, I hope, for Victoria's sake and mine. I actually can't tell too much. That worries me. Maybe I should have planned ahead. I didn't exactly think we'd be out here so early, so maybe I'd been too reliant on the hustle and bustle of the boardwalk to get our shoot going. Maybe if we slept a little longer, we wouldn't be having this issue. Girl, she's like, maybe if I was just in bed with Victoria just a little longer. Victoria's bed was super comfy. I seriously wouldn't have minded staying a little longer, even though I know Victoria is super serious about this shoot. Part of me wishes we could have just slept in just for a little. I get it! Did you know that Max wanted to sleep a little longer? Gay ass. I glance over at her, watching as she shuts off the car, running a hand through her hair. No way, get your mind out of the gutter, Max. The anxiousness crawling down my back makes me bounce my leg a little, and I clutch my camera bag, ready to get out there and scope out the area. Sounds kinda gay. Victoria glances over at me, unbuckling her seatbelt. Hey, I'm not wearing the clothes she picked out. Christ, you look like you're ready to run a mile a minute. Just ready to get out there and snap some photos. I shrug weakly, and I'm not exactly lying. I just don't feel the need to tell her that I'm worried about her liking the spot I picked, considering the lack of subjects. Not what I planned at all. Aren't you... Victoria scoffs at me, threading her fingers through her hair and shaking her head at me. Me? Please, I'm more than ready. Don't I look the part? I scoff this time when Victoria shoots me a look. I shoot her a little smile in return. What are you expecting me to tell you? How amazing you look? Because I didn't know my opinion mattered that much. Victoria rolls her eyes at me. Not surprising you didn't, considering you don't know a lot of things. Whoa, so not the response I was expecting. Before I can help myself, my lips split into a grin at the implication. So you're saying it does matter to you? Whoa, Victoria, I'm flattered. Victoria's eyes widen, and then she scowls at me. I know for a fact that my eyes aren't deceiving me this time when I see her cheeks flush pink. Way to go, Mad Max. Made her blush. Oh, shut up. I didn't mean that. I open my mouth to say something else, but Victoria clears her throat loudly at me, cutting me off. Enough about that. We have an actual, real important matters to discuss. Oh, did Twitch, like, allow you to come back? They banned you, and then they're like, oh, fine, you can come back. About you in particular. About me. Yeah, about you. Victoria gives me a once-over again, and honestly, it doesn't help my nerves in the least. You're nervous. Oh, I rub at the back of my neck, shrugging my shoulders weakly again. I should have known Victoria would catch on. I mean, we talked about this earlier, though. We literally discussed how we were nervous. But okay. I should have known Victoria would catch on. She's not exactly stupid. Not that I make it hard anyway. With the frequency my leg is bouncing, I can't help it. I'm just full of energy to burn. A little. Without any warning. Victoria reaches over to stop my leg, pressing it down firmly against the seat. I fight the desire to blush. It doesn't really work, and I just feel my ears heat up at the touch. My leg is totally trapped, all because Victoria is literally holding it down. Obviously, but I seriously doubt vibrating like an energized puppy. She taps her fingers twice against my knee. Like you've been doing all morning is going to make this any easier. Victoria removes her hand from my knee and opens the car door, sliding out smoothly, like she hadn't just forced me to stop vibrating, except it totally worked. I know, I guess you're right. I push open the door, fumbling with my bag for an instant before I actually manage to get out. You guess? I am. In any case, shouldn't I be the one freaking out? Victoria places a hand on her hip, raising a brow at me. I raise a brow in return, waiting for her explanation. Since I let you drag me here in the first place? Oh, of course you try to pull something like that. All I do is grin. You let me? I'm pretty sure I didn't drag you here. You let me pick, you know. What happened to giving my amateur taste a chance, huh? I watch Victoria try to swallow back a smile, and it totally reaches her lips anyways. Technicalities max. And there she goes, waving her hand at me dismissively, her eyes scanning the boardwalk like she's looking for something in particular. I don't know if she's finding it because I follow her lead, my gaze landing on the few people milling up and down the boardwalk. I recognize some students from Blackwell, most of which I don't really talk to. Others are just locals, most of which are fishermen. Today, Victoria doesn't immediately come up with anything to say, and that's worrying in itself. I scan her face, catching the little crease between her brows. Oh god. You'd think there'd be a lot more people here. Victoria looks back at me, her lips curled down a bit. She sighs tensely. No, not really. I'm not surprised. Arcadia Bay is practically a fucking ghost town, and it's so early, I'm not surprised there's not much going on. At the words, I find myself sagging my shoulders a little. Victoria frowns at me and crosses her arms. God, don't look so upset. That doesn't mean we can't make something work. Ghost town, you say? You think? I don't think, Max. Victoria walks up next to my side, tapping my back. I straighten up instinctively at the invasive touch. Invasive touch. Oh, bullshit. With us, I know. At the very least, Victoria's clear faith in us helps to ease out some of the tension I'm feeling. We can do this. I know we can do this. It's no time for me to be wallowing in whatever stupid self-doubt I have. We won't get anywhere like that. My first instinct is to reach for my camera bag, though. I'm very promptly stopped when Victoria puts her hand on my arm. Not so fast, Caulfield. I tilt my head at her, and I wonder if she can actually see the question marks above my head. I think she wants to get right into it. She's staring down at me cautiously, a slight slant to her lips. What's the problem this time? Wow? I'm kidding. What is it? I just have something I want to ask you. I retract my hand from my camera bag, and I think that makes Victoria realize she's got her hand laid over mine. She pulls it away quickly. Instead of moving to lean on the trunk of her car. Like that makes whatever she's going to say any less intimidating. I cross my arms over my chest, waiting patiently. Go for it. I wanted to ask why you care so much about... Victoria gestures to our surroundings, and I assume she's talking about the people, or lack in this case. Oh. I wanted you to like it. Maybe it's because I actually wanted you to, I don't know, like it. Since you let me pick, I didn't want to bring you somewhere that, you know... I trail off dumbly, realizing it sounds a lot more ridiculous when I say it out loud like that. That and Victoria staring at me oddly, eyebrows raised. She crossed her arms, breathing in softly and releasing it in a slow sigh. You, what, wanted my approval? Oh geez, that makes it sound so official. Victoria snorts softly. If not that, then what? I just didn't want you to be disappointed. I thought it'd be nicer if this made you... I shrug, rubbing at the back of my neck and ignoring the way my mouth feels as dry as sandpaper. Happy? Victoria straightens at my words, and I hear her take a deep breath. Oh. Christ, Max. It's... Victoria has to collect herself, and really, I'm not in a rush when she finally does manage something. She heaves an almost annoyed sigh. Ugh, it's seriously not that big of a deal. It's not? It's not. Victoria flicks her wrist at me, resting her elbow against her car and standing up straighter. Sure, this place isn't like fucking Seattle or something, I know, but people are not, like I literally said a few minutes ago, it hardly matters. Whether or not there are any idiots around to photograph, it's not going to stop us from taking remarkable images. Huh, yeah, I guess you're right. I avert my gaze from Victoria almost bashfully at the smug smirk she gives me. Of course I'm right. Just remember, Max, all these people aren't my partner. You are. I'm silent for a second and I can't help myself. I laugh a little, although I feel my ears heating up, my face flushing red at the way Victoria says that. I can't help that I love the way that sounds. Victoria, I'm sorry, but that was pretty pretty tacky, like super cheesy. Victoria blushes a little too brightly, and it makes me grin again, taking control of the situation. What? Fuck off. Oh my god, ungrateful. No, it's fine. It was kind of cute. That surprisingly came out without me having to think about it, and even I'm surprised about it. But at the same time, I'm not so worried about Victoria's reaction. Ruh-oh! Are we fucking Scooby-Doo? Victoria's eyes widen and she covers her face with her hands, scowling in the other direction. You're the worst. I take it all back. You can't. It's too late. You're stuck with me. From behind Victoria's hand, she snorts. Fuck, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, sure, Victoria. I'm totes aware that I probably got the stupidest grin on my face, and then I remember we should probably make an effort to start our project, now that we've actually completely settled down. I took a few steps back, prompting Victoria to follow me with a raised brow. So I know it's no Seattle, but we should probably get started. Victoria hums in agreement. At that, we take the time to pace down the boardwalk. Similarly quiet in our search for the perfect shot, or maybe that's too ambitious. At this point, we're just trying to find anything to look at. Victoria? Something's been bugging me since she brought it up earlier, and maybe it shouldn't, but since she mentioned Seattle, I couldn't help myself. What? Victoria's response is curt, and I frown at the sound. I don't exactly respond quickly, prompting her to turn to me. She pauses and then sighs, speaking easier. I can tell she's tense, despite all that talk from earlier. Sorry, what is it? I was wondering about Seattle. You came from there, right? Victoria seems to be taken completely off guard at the question. She shrugs after a moment. Yeah, what about it? The thought of Seattle makes me feel unsure, an awkward discomfort settling in the pit of my stomach. So in all actuality, I'm not sure what I'm actually asking about. Just that I want to know something about it. Well, do you really think it's better than Arcadia Bay? You're just full of loaded questions today. Victoria speaks cautiously, then she purses her lips. I do, I guess. It's hopelessly plain here. At the thought of the comparison, I hum almost absent-mindedly. All I can do is grasp at the strap at my back. Ever since I've moved here, I haven't even really thought about it much. Probably for the best, I think. It's not like I've left much behind. I'd only really had Fernando and Kristen to keep me company, and as amazing friends as they'd been, come back to Chloe had far outweighed that. Bro, it's so funny thinking about in the Chloe route, how much like Victoria is kind of mentioned. And then in this route, we keep mentioning Chloe. Like, they're trying to ease you in of like, ooh, you want to play these other routes. I almost feel like an asshole for thinking that. I guess so. You're right that there's way more to look at over there. And you know that how? It takes me a second to process Victoria's question, and then I stop and turn to face her, my eyes wide. Wait, did you think I've lived here my whole life? What? Victoria stops, and for a second I watch her sputter hopelessly. Oh my goodness. Are you telling me you haven't? I grin wryly at her. Sorry to disappoint, but nope. Oh. It's actually pleasant to hear Victoria stump for once, like she's totally at a loss with this information. Or maybe at not knowing it. Oh, my eyes. Please. Rhea's gonna be like, see, looking at Victoria is burning your retinas. As great as it is to hear her speechless, I decide to help her out. Yeah, I used to live up in Seattle until I came back here. You came back for Blackwell, I'm assuming? At that, I can't help it. My smile drops a little, and I run my thumb anxiously down the strap of my bag. Our eyes are starting to burn. She's right, of course, and she totally knows it's right. It wouldn't bother me so much if it didn't make me remember all the grief I'd caused Chloe. Kind of. There was also Chloe. Right, Chloe. Victoria grinds that out as sarcastically as she can, and it actually makes me wince slightly. She seems to catch on to my reaction, though, and surprisingly, I watch her sigh and soften up. Please, don't even. Are you seriously telling me you came back for Chloe? Maybe? Blackwell is a big deal, Max. An old best friend isn't. No. Bro, what are we doing now? Now this is making it seem very much like, oh, she should be with Chloe. Victoria is wrong about that. Even if I did initially come back because I'd heard about Blackwell, that doesn't mean... That's not true. Victoria tenses and then suddenly she places her hand on my arm. Something about the gesture is so off that my irritation is replaced with confusion. Chell, that's not what I meant. What I meant is that for fuck's sake, Max, it's not a crime for you to put your own aspirations first. People talk so much shit about being selfish, but that doesn't mean you're not allowed to be. Big Price Field. Except I swear there was like slight flirting between these two, or like Max constantly being like, oh, but Victoria. This game is all one big gaslight to do the other routes while you're doing one route. Victoria speaks quickly. Although her voice is low and gentle, like she's trying to get into my skull, I swallow dryly. I guess so. But at the same time, I can't help but feel a little bad, you know? Victoria purses her lips at me, sliding her hand down my arm. Apparently not by much, though I understand you're trying to get at. Your insistence on being so kind is fucking nauseating, Max. Well, have you ever considered that your insistence on being mean is too? I tease, but there's something deeply serious about it. Victoria watches me, and then she snaps her jaw shut like she's got nothing to say. For a second. Maybe we both have to learn things. Or things to learn. You think? Maybe, but right now I'd rather focus on this. Victoria changes the subject so quickly, I can't even be sure she said it. Not that it matters, not when I already know about it. Yeah, if I mentioned double exposure sucks. I smile, scratching at the back of my neck. You're right, but I was thinking... Victoria groans, as melodramatic as ever, wrinkling her nose at me. Something you've been doing too much of today, apparently. Quit it, I'm being serious. Not the hunger demon coming back. Mostly, my stomach growls dangerously and Victoria freezes for a second. She catches my gaze and I blush a little. Oh, are you? She quips sarcastically and I offer a sheepish grin. You might work better on a full stomach. God, you're a mess. Their words come out in a little sly, and I think they almost sound fonder than they should be. Without anyone complaining, she waves her hand at me. Your choice, Max. After we got something to eat, I ended up being able to convince Victoria to loosen up a bit and check out the shops with me. I thought it'd be better off that way, since we obviously weren't finding anything before. In a sense it did. We spent so much time window shopping and browsing that before we knew it the sun is high and the sky and the wooden planks are filled with pedestrians. At least as much as it will be. The plus of it all is that Victoria seems a lot more at ease now. Victoria is walking up ahead of me and I've got my camera in my hands. It usually feels heavy when I'm burdened by the thought of an assignment, but right now it feels light. I'm not really focused on anything in particular as I look through my viewfinder. I'm just imagining photos that could be testing the lighting. And then Victoria whirls around to face me, mouth open, hand on her hip. Where exactly do you want to go next? And my finger presses down on the shutter. The reaction is so instinctive, so immediate that I don't even realize I've taken a picture until I'm faced with Victoria's wide eyes through my viewfinder. Did you just? Lowering my camera, I bite my lip and take the photo from my camera, waving it once, twice. When I check it, I grin at the shot. Victoria mid-speech, standing amongst the few pedestrians of Arcadia Bay. What I love the most is the fluidity of the shot. Yeah, you just so happen to take this great picture, dude. Victoria's perfect posture amongst a stream of people. You look good. Victoria straightens, pulling out her camera with ease. She rolls her eyes at my expression, probably, and then points it right at me. I hardly have any time to adjust, standing with the photo in my camera. Smile, Caulfield! That sounds familiar. I already am. At Blackwell, me and Victoria wind up sitting on the freshly cut grass in the courtyard, going through all our photographs. My Polaroid photos are spread on the grass in front of our legs, little squares against the green lawn in contrast. Victoria just has her camera on her lap, open to the camera roll. I'm pressed up real close against her side to peer over her shoulder. In retrospect, this feels a lot more intimate than it should. Maybe not us sitting like this, but just like me being here with Victoria in the first place. I'm used to just seeing the Vortex Club obnoxiously taking up this space whenever we're out of class, during the mornings of or at lunch, all huddled up laughing at whatever. Of course Victoria's in that too. Now instead of sitting here with them, it's with me. Hello, Max, are you even listening? Huh? Yeah, Victoria squints at me suspiciously, pulling her back from where she'd been prodding at one of my photographs. When I check it's nothing special. Just a general landscape shot of the boardwalk itself. Okay, not convincing. What did I just say? How much you like that one? I tease and Victoria laughs in disbelief. You wish. Oof, so you're saying you don't? Victoria hums instead of giving me a solid response and I roll my eyes at her. Okay, so maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I am right now. Sure you are, only because I had to jerk you back into reality. She knocks my arm with hers and I huff softly, mock offended. A pout makes its way onto my lips. I am. Mm-hmm. After the shoot, Victoria had seemed a lot more relaxed. Or like, I guess the atmosphere is just more relaxed in general. I'm definitely not as tense as before either. Maybe it's the fact that we have left too much. Maybe it's the fact that we have left to do. Oh, I'm reading it so wrong. Maybe it's the fact that all we have left to do is choose between our photos. I seriously thought that'd be a lot more stressful. It's not. At least Victoria doesn't make it stressful. Stress-free or not, I rub my eyes and try to focus. We have to pick something for our submission. And now Victoria's staring right at me, real serious. With how close we are, all I can do is manage a sheepish smile. Okay, what is it? I want to know, just for reference, which one is your favorite? I blink at the question, not really sure I've heard it right. Victoria puts her camera down between our knees. My favorite? Like, which one I think looks the best? Not exactly. Though that is important. I mean personal preference. That's not really a hard question to answer. Not at all. I already know which photo comes to mind. It's just a little embarrassing to admit. I lean back on my hands and I draw in a long breath of air. Why do you insist? Bruh. Birds. You gonna stay? I lean back on my hands and I draw in a long breath of air to prepare myself for the inevitable post-answer explanation. Well, it takes me a moment to lean forward again, just so I can tap my finger against the one showcasing Victoria, where she's turned to me, ready to speak and highlighted by the pedestrians behind her. That one? There's this hesitant pause in her breath, and I rest my palm against my jeans, rubbing my hands down them. Yeah, definitely. What about yours? I counter before she can grill me about my choice, not sure that I can handle that just yet. Victoria straightens her shoulders, tensing up. I can feel it right against my side. She heaves a huge sigh, and just from that, I can tell she's not particularly confident about any of them. Out of mine? Fucking none. There's a note of irritation to her voice, backed with just the slightest disappointment. I frown, peering back down at her digital camera. None? No way, they're so good. She pauses and hesitates. I know they're good, but they're not amazing or anything. I don't see anything special in them. Nothing particularly remarkable. Just then she deflates a little. She sags down slightly, grimacing down at her camera and turning her head away from me. Victoria. It's whatever. I was thinking... I want you to submit yours instead. My heart freezes up in my chest at the words, and I sit up straighter. What? Victoria glances at me, swallowing dryly and running her fingers through her bangs. I watch the apprehension flash over her face. What, Max? Are you, like, milking this for all it's worth? Defensive as ever, I shake my head quickly. I said you should submit yours. Sorry, I'm just surprised. Oh, and why is that? We've talked about this. There's this curiosity in her tone, but it's laced with something miffed, something wary. She curls her fingers up in her cashmere sweater and I bite the inside of my cheek. She's nervous, I think. What do I want to go with here? I mean, she's already established that they look amazing, but... I'm gonna go with the second option here. Of thought we'd look over them a little longer. I don't know, I just thought we'd look them over a little longer. Feels a little rushed to be picking it right now. Victoria doesn't look amused at all. Rushed? It's not. I'm just calling it as it is, and as I see it... Victoria bumps my shoulder with hers. I have to press my hand back against the grass to keep my balance. Yours is the superior option. Geez, if you say it like that, you're going to make me blush. Ugh, you're such a dork. You did a good job, but I'm just pointing it out. So are you going to submit it or not? Victoria demands curtly. And I see her bend her leg slightly, digging her heel into the grass. She seems really intent on making sure this happens. I almost feel breathless at the trust she's giving me. Okay. If you really think I should, then I will. I agree quietly, and that's when I feel it. The way Victoria loosens up, muscles almost melting against mine at my affirmation of her demand. I gently bump her shoulder with mine, letting her know that I'm here. I wouldn't say no. Good. If we don't win, I'm skinning you alive. That's a stipulation. A laugh bubbles out of my throat, and Victoria joins me. Wow, okay, aggressive much. Only a little. Do you think I'm joking? This is so romantic, guys! How is this not the romantic route that you were expecting? Rolling my eyes, I reach over to my photo and take in my hands, running my thumbs over it. The sun feels warm and the grass is soft, and Victoria is a better heater than her ice-cold demeanor would usually suggest. I let myself sink against her side. She rests her arm behind my back, palm flat against the grass, almost as if she's getting just as comfortable as I am. I don't know, Victoria. I think you're warming up to me. It's quiet for a few beats, and I wonder about the lack of a response, or another thinly veiled insult or snappy remark. You'd think that, wouldn't you? She finally counters, challenging me. When I respond, I don't even have to think about it. Maybe I would. Friday! Friday! I arrived to class much earlier than anticipated, too strung up to stand laying in my bed any longer than I already did. Not like I really got much sleep anyways. I'm positive I spent half the night just scrolling through my feed, watching acoustic guitar covers in some lame attempt to calm myself. Victoria had texted me this morning reminding me to wake up as if I wouldn't do it on my own. By this point, I'm pretty sure those are just her nerves acting up too. I wouldn't have seen her all morning, not even in the shower room. And she's not even here right now. Huh. I find that a little unusual. The class isn't empty, full of people I assume are just as anxious as me, and Victoria isn't here? I can't help myself. I'll pull out my phone. Are you sure you're not the one who needed a wake-up call? Ha ha, very funny. Are you in class right now? I am, and it's pretty packed. We're not the only ones worried, I guess. Definitely not. I bring my attention back to the classroom as a whole. Watching everyone with the rapt attention, everyone's chatting, but it seems a lot quieter than usual despite that. Where are you? Calm down, Max. I'll be there. I know you will. I'm just curious. I went out to get breakfast with Taylor. No invite? I bite my lip to subdue my smile on my face, but I've got to admit, breakfast sounds so good right now. I've been so plagued by my nerves, I didn't even think I could eat with the way the butterflies have been gnawing at my stomach. Ugh. Now I'm kind of regretting that. To be fair, I didn't think you'd be awake yet. I thought you needed as much sleep as you can get. I blink in surprise at my phone before smiling and leaning back in my seat. Wowzers. Before this, I would have thought she's being sarcastic about that, but now I can definitely tell she's being real with me. Thanks. I didn't really get that much sleep, though. I thought as much. Don't worry. I didn't either. At least you're getting breakfast to wake you up. Where'd you go? You know, the cafe down the street. Oh, went to grab a nice caramel macchiato. I prefer vanilla lattes, but nice try. I covered my mouth, grinning at the screen in amusement. I remember that. Sure you will. Give me a sec. Guess that means Victoria's on her way. With nothing else to distract me, since Chloe's not even here and Kate seems busy chatting with Alyssa, I rifle through my bag. My fingers gaze through the folder of our contest photo, and I feel my heart skitter in my chest, all the way up to my throat. Oh man, I don't know if I'm ready to turn this in yet. I pull it out, sliding my thumb down the edge. Suddenly, someone drops a white paper bag on my desk, and I nearly drop the folder when I feel a hand settle on my back. Ah. Holy shit, chill. Victoria's face comes into view. She pulls her hand away from my back, quirking a brow up at me. Taylor's standing right behind her, although all she does is flash me a coy smile, winking at me before sliding away at her own desk. That leaves me at least 50 times more surprised. I don't know what to make of that. Victoria leans her hip against my desk. You okay? You look like you're going to shit a brick. You scared me, you jerk. Flashing her teeth in a practiced smile, she takes a sip from the drink in her hand. I wonder if it really is a vanilla latte. Why would we even question that? Hey, I just came to say hello. That, and I brought you something. She gestures to the paper bag on my desk, and upon further inspection, I realize it's from the bakery down the street. You brought me something? It's no two whales breakfast, but check it out. I sweep it off my desk, reaching in and pulling out a nice warm croissant. My stomach rumbles at the sight. You got me bread? It's a croissant, Max. She sounds so exasperated and I grin. Thanks, I wasn't expecting this. Victoria just gives me a non-committal shrug, taking another sip of her latte. I thought you'd probably do something dumb like skip breakfast. Being anxious on an empty stomach fucking blows. Thanks again, you didn't have to. I just want to make sure you're not, like, dying. Don't worry so much, I'm not planning on it. I take a bite out of the croissant, slightly content. It's no two whales, but it's something. Victoria checks her phone, glancing over at my shoulder, right where her seat is. I follow her glance over to Courtney and Taylor. You can go back to your friends if you want. She makes a face at that, sucking at her own teeth. They can wait. She says this offhandedly, like she didn't just put me before her buddies. How nervous are you? The golden question, but now I'm positive she knows just how I'm feeling. A bunch. I mumble, but honestly, I do feel a little better that Victoria's here. Not surprised, I am too. Victoria sighs and opens her mouth to say something else, but before she does, I hear Courtney call out for her again, and she thins her lip out and sighs in minute aggression. Or minute aggravation. I know how to read. It just makes me smile. You should go. They're waiting, and I'm pretty sure you already spent enough time with me. Oh, please. You say that like it's a bad thing. My eyebrows rocket up, and I almost choke on my croissant. You could have made me choke on my croissant. Victoria's eyes widen, and she reaches forward, touching my back. What? Hey, don't die on me now. Sorry. I just wasn't expecting you to say that. So you do like spending time with me. I ask for clarification. Victoria clears her throat and shifts on her feet. Wouldn't be here if I didn't. Consider yourself lucky. I do. After a long sigh, Victoria backs away from my desk. I guess you're right. I better go placate them before they start whining later. Right. Victoria turns to go, not before pausing for another instant. Oh, and Max? Save me a seat next to you. Oh, I didn't think she'd actually want to sit next to me, but that makes me feel a lot more at ease, too. I will. I definitely will. As I say that, I already dropped my messenger bag on the seat next to me. Victoria smiles in satisfaction. Thought so. With that, Victoria turns and saunters away, back to her own desk. I still have time before class. I guess I should check in on everyone. I've been so busy this week, I have hardly spoken to anyone else. Nah, we're good. This is the Victoria route, not the care about anyone else route. I think about talking to my other classmates, but I'm too nervous to keep making idle chat, so I'm just going to sit and wait for class to start and hope for the butterflies to go away. What do you mean, wow? Alright. I know you're all excited, but I need you to all to... I know you're all excited, but I need to have you all seated. Have I got everyone's photos? Everyone's eyes are on Mixed Dog as they shuffle through the photos spread out on their desk. Is anyone excited? No. I'm really impressed by the amount of students that have entered this year. About half of every class has put an entry in. And now, with these, I can finally start deliberations. Lucky for you all, that means you can use this period to study. The hum of chatter starts up immediately, quietly, and then dies down with some protests and groans. Kind of thankful for the opportunity. I put my head down and opened my textbook, but although I try to focus, it's pretty hard. I guess Victoria and I aren't the only ones hoping to win. No fucking shit, Max. It feels like the longest hour of my life. Every time Mixed Dog moves at their desk, I think they're about to announce the winners, and I jump a little. Chloe's gonna be like, "You abandoned me, Max! I'm going to go away now with Rachel forever and ever." When they finally do stand up, clipboard in hand, I go so rigid in my seat. I catch Victoria's gaze. She offers me an encouraging nod, expression serious. I know she's every bit nervous as I am, but if she's still putting her trust in me, I'm sure we can do this. Chloe spawns a tornado on you! Goodness, this was so difficult. I know that the deadline was short and a lot of you devoted much of your free time this week to your entry. I truly wish I could award more than one winner. The theme of this contest was bonds. What a broad concept. And I'm thrilled to see so many different interpretations of it here. That's what photography is all about, personal expression, showing the world the way that you see things. That said, there is one entry in particular that truly embraced this theme. Here the photographer showcases the impeccable essence of mundane human connection, further highlighted by the backdrop of those experiencing the same. My heart skips a beat, or 10. There's no way they're talking about our photo. The unique vision of this novice photographer makes me think that we'll see some amazing things from them in the future, and hopefully they'll continue collaborating with their partner. So I'm extra pleased to announce that the winner of the second annual Blackwell Photo Contest are Maxine Caulfield and Victoria Chase. Congratulations! We won? It seriously doesn't sink in, not even when I hear the applause from everyone, and Chloe's super obnoxious whistling. I feel shocked in my seat. None of it feels real, not even when I watch Mixed Dog pin our photo to the board. Max? I turn to face Victoria, and now the rush hits me all at once. All the applause, the fact that Mixed Dog had called out both of our names with such pride. We won. We seriously won. Me and Victoria working together. It's so wild that I feel like I'm in a dream. It was all a dream. None of it was real. I pull Victoria in for a hug out of instinct, feeling her totally stiffen up in my grip. Oh my god. Twitch not behaving? Not surprised. She groans loudly, and all I can do is laugh in disbelief, going to pull away from her quickly. She stops me by slipping her arm around my shoulders and squeezing gently. Right before pulling me away, I grin at her cheeks, flushed with excitement, and she smirks slightly at me. You're so embarrassing. Sorry, She stops me with a snort, grasping at my shoulder and shaking me very gently. I know, we fucking won. Just as I said we would. I couldn't be any happier right now. It feels like I'm floating. I feel like I can do anything. All my nerves are on fire with adrenaline, and I've never been so proud. It all makes me think how crazy it was, all the worrying I did. I'm so glad to have Victoria on my side, goading me on. I don't think I could have done it without her, not at all. Max, no. Victoria is watching me. She leans back with a tight smile. I told you we could do it. I know, I shouldn't have doubted you. It's just... God, I can't believe it. We did it, Victoria. Victoria's eyebrow twitches, and I can't read the expression on her face. And then she eyes the area behind me. It takes me a second to realize that she's locked eyes with Chloe. They're gonna fight to the death over me, chat! And by extension, Rachel. They're all glaring at each other, and it takes a lot for me to suppress a groan. I slip my hand onto Victoria's and squeeze. Victoria rips her gaze off of them and offers me another tight smile, forced. Chloe, you better win this. Yeah, if there was a fight, I definitely believe in Chloe. You look like you have a few people who want to congratulate you. Should be congratulating us, both of us. I state this honestly, fiercely. Oh god, I have to sneeze. I state this honestly, fiercely, and Victoria pauses, shaking her head and scoffing. Hardly. You should come with me to say hi. An awkward grimace marks her face for a second, and then it's gone. An unwise decision, Max, but you go ahead. Find me afterwards. Has Chloe ever won a fight? I mean... That's besides the point. The bell rings, signaling the end of class and therefore the end of my class-wide victory party. Or Yeah, it said party. I do stand up, going to talk to the others, and Victoria walks the other way, heading to Taylor and Courtney. I glance over my shoulder at her, but I couldn't help but feel like something is off. Right before I'm distracted, another round of congratulations, of course. By the time it's all up, I'm sure it's a solid 10 minutes have gone by. When I check over my shoulder, Victoria's not there anymore. It makes me worry, even if it's probably nothing. Plus, she told me to find her. Exactly! There were guns in the rest of them, and how is she supposed to fight off gun? She's just a girl. And I'm going to do just that. After all, it wouldn't be right if we didn't celebrate our win together. Let's celebrate by watching anime! It took me a while to figure out where Victoria disappeared off to. Since I hadn't seen her out in the courtyard or even in the halls, that really only leaves one place, especially since I peeked into the parking lot and her car had still been there. Not that I think Victoria would leave me. Oh, this music's kind of nice. Whatever this is, this is nice. Not that I think Victoria would leave me. Why would she, when she specifically told me to find her? Now I'm standing in the dorm hall, and I pause mid-step when I spot the door to her room cracked open, almost as if she intentionally left it that way. I don't hesitate at all, heading in over to her door and opening it. I peer inside Victoria's room, gripping the edge of her door frame as expected. She's there, sitting on her bed, holding something tightly in her hands. I try to get a good look, but from my position, it's not exactly easy. Her gaze is unexpectedly hard as I tiptoe my way in, shutting the door softly behind me. Victoria? Victoria tenses up when I call out for her, prying her eyes off the thick book in her hands. She blinks and then sighs. There you are. Couldn't even knock? I wasn't sure if I should. Your door was open anyways. I'm kidding. I'm not upset. It was open for a reason. I just didn't think you'd show up so quickly. It was open just for me. I cross over to her bed and Victoria directs her attention back to whatever she's holding. It takes me a second to realize that's her portfolio. It looks so thick. She must have a lot in there already, despite myself. I grow a little worried at the sight. The tense set on her shoulders and serious slant of her eyes makes me wonder if she's upset. I would have shown it quicker. It's just, everyone wanted to congratulate me. A briefly amused snort escapes Victoria's lips, and she pats the spot next to her. On a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable did that praise make you? A solid 7, mostly because my partner wasn't there to share it with me. I take a seat next to her, the bed bouncing a little at the way I drop myself onto it. Victoria clicks her tongue and shrugs. You didn't need me to share it with you. Something about the way Victoria says that throws me off. It's resigned, as if she thinks she hasn't had any effect on any of this. She's just taking it. What do you mean? You're my partner, Victoria. I couldn't have done it without you. Please, that win was all you, Max. Victoria is slightly turned away from me, like she's trying to shield herself from me. My heart clenches in my chest at the sight. Does she seriously think she had no part in this? No way. Victoria, you've had everything to do with this. We both did. Victoria shuts her eyes and huffs, placing her portfolio back down on her lap. No, Max, that was your photograph that won. And you were the one who helped me take it. I mean, is that what you're so upset about? Victoria catches my gaze from her side, and her lip twitches as if something about that bothers her. I'm not upset about that. You deserved it. I'm not saying that I'm not going to take credit for something you did. I'm saying that's bullshit, Victoria. I can't help it. The words are flying out of my mouth before I have a chance to stop them. Maybe it's because Victoria is being so ridiculous. Maybe it's because I can't stand the sight of Victoria putting herself down so easily. Victoria straightens up like a bullet at my words, turning to watch me with her wide eyes. Excuse me? I almost think that maybe I've gone too far, but I suck it up. I can't waver, that not now. I said that's bullshit, okay? This whole time you've been goading me on. Without you, I don't think I even would have been so confident submitting anything today. Victoria's eyes narrow, and then she licks her lips, waiting for me to continue. So excuse me if I think it's really ridiculous that you're not giving yourself even a little credit. Even if it's not your photograph, like I said, without you, it wouldn't have even existed. Victoria doesn't say anything, and for an instant, I really am sure that I've said too much, but I don't regret it. Victoria needs to hear how important she is, even if it's from some dorky hipster, even if it's from someone that I'm pretty sure she's used to just competing against. Victoria needs to know she's just as important, just as amazing as I've learned she is this week. Okay. Jesus, Max, I've never seen you so passionate. Victoria's eyes lock onto my face, and suddenly I feel very small at the way she's looking at me. Her face totally unreadable, too. All that bravado I feel from before feels like a total dream, like someone else was in charge of my body, stringing me along. What did we actually learn this week, though? That Victoria likes anime. And that's all that matters. Yeah. I force myself to speak anyways, and I bite the inside of my cheek, curling my toes in my sneakers. You just needed to know, like, really needed to know. Victoria inhales deeply through her nose, and then she pries her gaze off of me. I still can't tell what she's thinking. Regardless, do you remember what I was saying about my portfolio? Yeah, I remember. Even if... She stops, shrugs. Even though I might be a big part of it, it's not like I can use it. Oh, that's... I didn't even think of that. Clearly, not that I held it against you, too busy being showered in affection. Victoria smirks, clearing her throat right after. But I suppose that just means it's not time for me to submit this just yet. After all, none of the pictures I took are worth putting in here. My gaze is drawn back to the wide book in her hands. It's leather-bound. I wouldn't expect anything less from Victoria Chase. It looks so intimidating. I bet whatever's inside is amazing. Maybe it does, but knowing you, Victoria, I'm positive whatever is in there is amazing. Okay, now you just have too much faith in me. Never. I'm totally serious. Overconfidence and underconfidence. Victoria smiles briefly before I reach out, brushing my hand against the side of hers. The contact feels almost electric. Victoria, on the other hand, stiffens up slightly. Can I see? I'd be stoked to see what you have in there. Wait, so you can shower me in more praise? There's a soft sarcasm in her voice, and I roll my eyes and beam at her. Maybe. Victoria seems to freeze, scoffing and handing it over to me. I take it gently, my heart full knowing that she trusts me with it. When I open it, I'm already stunned by the quality of work within it. As expected, Victoria is so remarkable. I think I'd almost be jealous if we hadn't hung out together this whole week. I can almost hear myself now. How can someone so awful have such an amazing portfolio? Only now I know Victoria's not awful. She's just insecure. As I flip through each of the pages, I realize Victoria's gone super quiet. I glance back up at her, just to see her biting her lip, hands pressed against her skirt. Victoria, these are... Wowzer. You've got such an amazing eye. You think so? They're just my best ones, but honestly, they could be better. I shake my head immediately and returning my gaze to the book right as I see Victoria swallowing nervously. No, for real, I mean it. I never get to see her stuff, aside from like some assignments, but all of these in here are on a whole nother level. Victoria shifts next to me, and I feel her knee bump against mine. Thanks, Max. No problem. I'm almost to the end of the thick book when I turn the page. I spot a photograph that makes my breath pause in my chest, my cheeks flushing. My heart does a double take in my chest. It's the picture of me yesterday, holding my camera in my hand and our winning contest photo in the other. Just like Victoria's, the pedestrians are all lined up behind me, but what I think sticks out the most is the dorky smile I have. Victoria. I can't help the surprised quality to my voice, and I look up from the photo to Victoria, who's steadily going pink. Oh god, you weren't supposed to. Victoria covers her mouth, and her hand reaches over to shut the book. Instead of letting her, I grasp her hand. I thought you said none of the pictures you took yesterday were worthy of putting in here. I managed to say, even though I'm positive I'm just as red as Victoria is. Still, I have to admit. Victoria is such an opturia. The way my heart is beating isn't just because of shock. The fact that Victoria went and developed my photo, and it's in here. I did say that, didn't I? Victoria closes her eyes and sighs deeply. Ugh, it's a good photo, that's it. Victoria defends lamely, tone blunt as she tries to downplay her total embarrassment at being caught. I, on the other hand, can't stop smiling. All I'm thinking about is what it could mean. Don't get too ahead of yourself, Max. It's just, can you say anything other than wowzer? It's just wowzer, I can't believe I'm in this. Well, you are, so... I want to say something else to tell her how amazing I think it is, but she seems really embarrassed. She won't even meet my eyes. Why is this route longer? I just closed the portfolio. I hope you don't mind me injecting my opinion, but please, as if I could stop you from saying anything at this point. Victoria gains some of her bite back and it makes me laugh a little, even though I feel like something shifted in the atmosphere around us. I think it's amazing. I think you should definitely give it a shot and submit it to this gallery. What? You can't be serious. It's not ready. It might never be ready, Victoria. I mean, what are the chances of it getting to be totally perfect? You'll never know if you're ready or not if you don't give it a shot. When did you get so wise, Max? She sniffs, raising a brow at me. All I can do is shrug. Maybe I learned a few things this week. You're welcome. Wow, who said I was talking about you? We both share an amused glance, and Victoria goes serious once more, studying me. Okay, I will, but on one condition, Max. One condition? Like what? I want you to help me. For a second, I'm totally surprised by what she's getting at, and I swallow thickly. Help you? Like... You heard me. Just, you know, going through my stuff, being my second opinion, because as you clearly stated, I'm apparently a poor judge of my own. No kidding. I joke carefully, although I'm floored by Victoria's demand. I fist my hands against my jeans, really thinking about it. And I decide that I'd love to help Victoria. In fact, I'd already been thinking about it before. I just wasn't sure if I should ask. It'd be good for the two of us, I think. Is Victoria Chase actually asking me for help? Max. Victoria says my name dangerously, and I just smile at her. I'm kidding, mostly, but yeah, of course. Help me keep my lips warm, Max. I'd love that. Good. Victoria relaxes, and I watch her exhale softly, gently. And it won't be just you helping me. I'll do the same for you, too, you know. You will? I don't mean to sound so surprised, I guess I never do, but all Victoria does is nod, reaching out for her portfolio and resting her hand next to mine. Duh, I can't just leave you by yourself. If I didn't know, God knows, you'd put your work out there. Hey. My chest rumbles with a slight laughter as Victoria teasingly jostles my shoulder with hers. Untrue, but okay. I'd like that. Victoria hums softly and I turn to stare at her. She's giving me the same stare as earlier, serious, and I can't read it, not for a minute. It's almost like she's searching for something. For the third time in the past 30 minutes, my heart does its thing again. I think I see her eyes drop down to my face. I open my lips to say something, furrowing my brows, and suddenly she's kissing me! So quickly, it's almost jarring. I'm pretty sure our teeth knock into each other, but it's offset by how soft her lips are, by how much my head spins. I'm so shocked I don't even have a chance to respond when she pulls away, breath staggered against my lips. Oh. Oh. As if I could come up with anything less coherent. I'm still trying to get a grip, trying to realize that Victoria Chase just kissed me. All I can see on her expression is the gnawing worry present in that cute crease between her eyebrows. Fuck, Victoria's jaw tenses, locks up, and realizes she's trying to backpedal out of this. So naturally, I react on instinct. And there it is! I reach forward, pressing another kiss to her lips. It's firmer. I make sure it's firmer, confident, positive. My chest feels like it's going to explode. The way Victoria gasps against my lips doesn't do a thing to calm the patter in my heart, and that's okay. After a moment, I pull away and manage a shaky laugh that Victoria returns. That could have gone a lot better for our first kiss. Oh, fuck off. I was just a little nervous, I could tell. Victoria rolls her eyes, then she leans forward again. Our noses brushing. The high flush in her cheeks makes her look even more gorgeous, I think. Happy Pride. Here, just for suffering. Just for suffering, Mia. I got you. Bird Yuri kiss. This time I slip my hand under her cheek, brushing the back of her ear. Victoria's hand settles against my side, and I can feel the nervous tremble of her fingers. Oh, whatever. We can work on that as long as we need to. Definitely. This time when we kiss, we're both ready for it. Perfect timing on that. Hooray! We did it, chat.
I don't
Oh
have
my god.
Uno, so go fuck off.
Everyone has Uno, dipshit. It came free with your fucking Xbox.
I
Well,
didn't
get
get
it.
it. I have the oldest Xbox known to Fodlan.
No you don't.
I got mine on day one, you fucking bastard.
Well,
I
mine
didn't have it.
You
You have
have
Uno,
Uno,
you
you
fucking
fucking
bitch.
I don't have it, you fucking...
You have Uno!
I don't fucking have Uno, motherfucker.
Go to the arcade and you'll be able to
have
download
Uno.
it for
I
free, you
don't
dumb
have
motherfucker.
Uno.
It's a
I
fully
don't have
recorded
Uno.
We don't even
Don't
charge
have
people.
Well, that was the Victoria route. I was a little, like, kind of wanted more from it. I feel like the Chloe route, I mean, obviously that was going to be the best route, but that one still... It wasn't bad, but I was just, like, waiting for more things to happen. It was just, like, back and forth. And not, like, the juicy kind. Just like, eh. So, price field supremacy at the end of the day. Yeah, it was just kind of a route. That's the takeaway. Alright, y'all, that was the stream. I'll maybe see you tomorrow if Monday Night Raw isn't at, like, 2 p.m., but we'll see. So I'll see y'all then. Bye-bye. Happy Pride.